All right, man. What team do y'all want to start with?
Let's start with your team, right? Let's start with
Lakers.
some despair.
I don't want to.
No, we're gonna start with some despair.
Fuck that. You have
We're starting
no
with some
option.
despair.
Your team is fresh off of a loss. All right, Isaac. The Lakers just got their backs blown out again. Not for the first time, not for the second time. This is like 10 times in a row at this point in time. And I want to know, how bad does your back hurt? And also, how do you feel as a Lakers fans right now? Damn, it's 11. Oh my God.
11 times in a row losing to this team. About to be 2 sweeps in a row. Every single game in the regular season. How do I feel? If we recorded this after game 2, fresh off of that game, then I would have been in despair after seeing Jamal Murray just ice my team after coming back from down 20. But now I'm just like, I don't even care. I'm rooting for the Thunder at this point. I'm just defeated. This white man has taken all basketball dignity I have. It's whatever.
I love it.
Welcome back to the newest episode. As you guys see by the title, we are reacting to the first round so far of every playoff series, telling you guys one thing we learned about every team. We're actually recording this Thursday night. Late as hell. It's 9:55 PST right now. Game 3 of the Lakers just ended, so it's our rawest, freshest reactions to the Thursday games. Listen, if I'm going to be up at 2 a.m. editing this pod for you guys, that's what we got to do for playoff basketball.
It's 1 a.m. where I'm at right now. We're putting in real pain for you guys. All right? I'm going to be up until like 1:30, 2 a.m. making sure everything is sent to Ida so we can divvy this shit up and also send it out to you guys, bro. Please tap in with y'all, man. God.
So yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, drop a like and subscribe. Audio platforms, rate us 5 stars, leave a review. Make sure more than ever now that you guys are tuning into live streams every Monday because, playoff games are happening every day. So within a few days, things change dramatically. And we have the live streams between every episode. So you'll get a lot of reactions to games between the episodes there. So definitely tap in there and watch. Just even if it's a VOD, if it's not necessarily live.
Facts.
Tap in.
Let's get straight into it. We're going to go through every playoff series. Let's start with Lakers versus Nuggets.
The cranium is crazy. Oh my God.
I mean, I really don't know what to say.
Crayon eaters, rejoice.
So real simple, we're going to go through every playoff matchup. We're going to talk about it at large, what we've learned in these few games, with specifically each of us have a list of teams we're going to give our main one thing we've learned. Okay, so first of all, obviously, we all came to the series knowing the Nuggets would win, right? Nobody really disillusioned to think otherwise?
100%. We knew that.
Are you surprised by the ease in which the Nuggets are winning? Did you guys think it would be close?
No. If they sweep them, I will be shocked because I kind of pencil in at least one game for LeBron-led teams in every scenario, right? I think the only time that I expected a sweep was 2018 in the finals, and he did get swept. But outside of that, if LeBron's on your team, no matter how old he is, you give him that respect. You say they'll get one game. It'll be a little bit, a little bit more respectable, but nothing crazy. But the Nuggets are clearly the better team. So we're at 3-0, and yeah, man, I'm not really shocked.
Part of the course.
Yeah, I think I'm more shocked in how they're getting it done because to come back from 20 midway through the third, that's impressive. To come back from 14-15 in game 1 in the second half, that again is impressive. Lakers came out in this game, gave them their best punch. Didn't really matter. Still kind of come back. Not it was as big of a comeback, but still fight back, do all this thing, gain control again. And it is what it is. So it's not, that part is kind of surprising that the Lakers just can't hold on to any lead possible.
Bro, the Lakers were up 10 in every single first half of this series. They have literally 3 for 3 came out and won the first half, or at least won the first quarter. They've done exactly what you want them to do. They've asserted their dominance inside, gone to the free throw line, played Lakers basketball, played pretty solid, and it does not fucking matter even a little bit. The Nuggets find a way to wear you down, out-execute you down the stretch every single play, wither down that lead every single time, no matter how big it is. And it's just everything we talked about when we talk about this Nuggets team being the finals favorite for the whole year. We've been almost dismissive of the Celtics because we're listen, Jokic is going to win the finals again. We truly believe in this team. And this series is exactly why. The Lakers are a good team playing good basketball, and it is irrelevant.
Yeah, I mean, this is the inevitable. We've all talked about it since probably the start of the season since literally game number 1 of the entire NBA season. We saw this shit happening. Game number 1 of the season literally felt like an extension of last series. And we're just seeing part 2, part 3 of this saga now. And at this point in time, like if you're a Lakers fan, all you have to do is just bow your head down, accept defeat. You're chilly outmatched from head to toe, it feels like. But at the same time, you have to be encouraged because did this fight feel better than last year?
Why would it feel better than last year? No, I don't have to be encouraged. Are you out of your mind?
You're still
Why
down
the fuck
3-0.
would I have to be encouraged?
You're still down 3-0.
You know what? We're down 3-0 with AD playing some of the best basketball of his life. He's been going bam for bam with Jokic. He had one game where he had 32 points, hyper efficient, defended pretty good. Obviously, he's not going to be out here stopping Jokic because no one is. But outside of that, has played well on both ends. His mid-range shot is falling. He's been physical down low, attacking mismatches. There was one play in this game 3 where he put Peyton Watson under the basket in the first quarter. It's none of that up and down shit we saw in the series last year. We're getting truly dominant AD. Gabe Vincent's back, giving them good defense. Austin Reeves is playing well. Again, but it doesn't matter. So no, I'm not encouraged because nothing, even best case scenario, isn't good enough.
Bro,
though it's not best case scenario because D'Lo is still shitting down the side of his leg.
And that's the problem. The Nuggets tonight shot 17.9% from 3. The Lakers could not capitalize on that because they shot 18.5% from 3. Like they cannot.
Rock fight.
Yeah, they cannot find advantages on anywhere against this team, and we're just gonna keep going around in circles saying it. But when he's controlling the game the way that he does, and you get down to the fourth quarter, you get down to the third quarter, wherever time of the game that you want, and he leans up in that chair and he's like, "All right, guys, it's time to play." Like there's no coming back from that.
Yeah, another underrated thing that we're seeing make a big difference in every asset of the series, especially this game. Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon, if I look at correctly, they both shot over 60% from the field. And let me pull up their stats exactly. MPJ had 20 points, 10 rebounds, 50% from the field.
Crazy.
Aaron Gordon, 29 points, 15 rebounds, 66% from the field. The way that the Nuggets have the ability to have a size advantage at every single position, 1 through 5, on almost every single night. Jamal Murray is 6'4", big guard. KCP, 6'5", with a long wingspan, big guard. And then those two giant fours I just mentioned, plus obviously Jokic. That makes a big difference because there's so many plays where the Lakers play decent defense, they're rotating all around, but then you get Gabe Vincent stuck on MPJ, who rotates, does fine. MPJ attacks a closeout, rises up from the mid-range, and has a foot above him where he doesn't even see the contest. That ability to attack a mismatch, or not even really attack a mismatch, but just have a size advantage on every single attempt you want to get, it's invaluable.
Yeah, even on the defensive end as well. During this game, there's a play where MPJ was matched up against the barn. Not to say like MPJ's no fucking stopper or anything like that, but you'd be a damn fool to realize that this dude not realize that this dude made real defensive strides.
Sure.
And at the same time, like there is no real weakness or no real player you can like pinpoint and bully and try to expose outside of like, I don't know, I guess Jamal Murray at times, but even then it's like wonky because he can have straps whenever it's most important too. So for the Lakers, I just sit down and I see this team and I'm just like, bro, like you have to pick a struggle, and they can't at this point in time because you got guys like D'Angelo Russell who just puts up inexcusable performances. He played like 24 minutes tonight. He put up as many points as you, Isaac. That's embarrassing. You were like 20 miles away from that arena. You have no business putting up similar stats as D'Angelo Russell. That's embarrassing. All right.
Yeah, I'm what am I? I'm probably like 6 miles away. I could smell D'Angelo Russell shit from Nice Lake from here. But coming into this game, let me see what the update is. But for the first 2 games of the series, there was 0 bench points scored by the Lakers besides Torian Prince. Kai Cenat is out here hooping, getting points for us, but nobody else off the bench. That's ridiculous. And then Nikhil just sent us a tweet. LeBron and AD outscored Jokic and Murray by 13 points today, 53-40. The rest of the Lakers starters had 17 points. The rest of the Nuggets starters had 49. Listen, no matter who it is, the Nuggets are just a deeper team, and the supporting cast is proving to be better. Even though LeBron and AD are playing arguably just as good as Jamal Murray and Anthony Davis and Jokic, doesn't matter because we know that at the end of the day, the Nuggets are so good because they had the perfect starting 5 that all fit together perfectly. And that was the question mark all season for the Lakers. We knew that going into the deadline. They chose not to address it and be patient for the summer. And it's biting them, right? Like, it's very predictable in that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen, it's
tough,
over.
right?
The series is done. Like, once you blew a 20-point lead in Denver, it was a wrap. And everybody, like, the old adage is like, no, the series doesn't start until somebody wins on the road, yada, yada, yada. The series was done before it started. It was.
I'm glad you said that. Because that was the theme of today's games on Thursday. All the home teams that were down 2-0, they all came back and won and made the series 2-1, except for the Lakers. So for almost every other series, we're still waiting for the home team to finally lose. This is the first one. This is the series that's over. The rest of them are still TBD.
Listen.
So-
Magic. We're gonna talk about them. Shout out to them because they hooped today. I think I'm giving
we'll
up
get
on
there.
them. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's do the things we learned about each team here. Mo, what's the one thing you learned about the Nuggets? They're your team on your list.
The inevitable. Like, there's nothing really that I learned about the Nuggets at all. They're who I thought they would be. Like, the struggles were pretty much non-existent, other than, like, coasting at times or whatever, and knowing when to really, like Donovan said, like, lock in and lean forward and kick teeth in. It's really nothing I learned, bro. They're the same old team, other than maybe the only thing that I, like, really understood is, like, how dominant they are and how they're starting to reach new levels of greatness.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. For what I learned from the Lakers is pretty much a lot of confirmation bias. Not confirmation bias, wrong word, but a lot of confirmation of what we already knew. Like you said, we knew their supporting cast wasn't good enough. We know the starting backcourt isn't good enough because we know D'Lo can't be relied upon in a playoff setting. We know the bench isn't good. We know Darvin Ham isn't good. All this stuff. What I learned mostly is that Darvin Ham is out the door very soon because Anthony Davis was very frustrated after game 2. And he said in a post-game interview that sometimes he feels like they don't know what they're doing on the court, which is pretty clearly a direct shot at coaching staff, I would think. Or maybe it's players too, but some accountability for organization. And Darvin Ham was asked about the next day. And
sorry. Audio listeners, there's a meme of Arthur, the Aardvark, that little kid show with him in his hands in his pockets, and they're like, Darvin Ham. It's like fucking hilarious.
Yeah, after that game, Darvin Ham basically just like said, fuck what AD's talking about. He's just frustrated. I think we do a great job of being organized. That man has never taken accountability day in his life, and I feel like that's probably becoming very apparent to the players in the locker room. So I think we're coming close to seeing a pretty clear dismantling of this coaching staff.
100%. Yeah, we learned that, and we learned that at this time next year, there's absolutely no way that D'Angelo Russell is going to be on the roster. Like, he can, the same kind of cycle can happen next year where you're going to go into the offseason, you're going to start the year and be like, okay, well, D'Lo's going to get traded. Trade talk, D'Lo's going to fire up. He's going to start averaging 20 points a game, start shooting well. Los Angeles Lakers, Rob Pelinka, do not be fooled. You cannot trust this man, and he needs to be gone because you can't go through another playoff cycle with D'Angelo Russell as your point guard and getting multiple nights of 1 for 9, 0 for 7, 0 for 6. Right? You can't do that with D'Angelo Russell. So I learned that he will be off the team next year.
Yeah, 100%. Everything, I didn't even bother touching on that because all that stuff we knew about the Flosses roster readily made apparent.
Yeah.
No backup big, no ability to throw somebody with size on Jokic so AD can help. Rui Hachimura is in hell trying to guard Jokic one-on-one. That's a ridiculous sentence. Why is Rui guarding Jokic one-on-one? Because they didn't address that and bringing another big that can stretch the floor. We knew that's a flaw. We knew the backcourt didn't have enough defense. We knew D'Lo couldn't be relied upon. We know they didn't have enough shooting. They didn't have enough playmaking. Dinwiddie didn't help that. All these things that proved to be true that we already expected.
Now,
listen, there's nothing to say. This series sucks. It's over. It's gonna be a sweep.
Yeah, at least they know what
Tough.
to do once the offseason starts or whatever. Just find real players with impact. That's one thing when you also see the Denver Nuggets in terms of like what a truly dominant team looks like. Even if what a player's known to do on the court, even if he's not hitting shots or whatever, impact is still felt. If MPJ's not knocking down 40% of his threes, he's still grabbing rebounds. He's still making his presence known with his size and all the roaming that he does at that size. You know what I'm saying? And as for the Lakers, D'Lo, Rui Hachimura, I can't really say that.
Listen, we're going to get into some pretty future-facing conversations about this Lakers team pretty soon once they get officially eliminated. So I guess we'll save that for the following weeks. But this team is going nowhere fast. I'll say that.
Tough.
What's the next series you want to talk about? Let's talk about some real basketball.
Second
me,
loser
bro.
of the day. Let's go ahead and talk
Talk to
about
me.
the New
Talk to
York
me.
Knicks versus the Philadelphia 76ers. I'm so happy, bro. Not because the Knicks lost. I lied.
No, you
I
are.
am
You're happy
about that
because
too.
the Knicks lost.
But
It's okay. Accept it.
we saw Joel Embiid, who has half of a meniscus, half of a working face, put up 50 points in a playoff game. Easily the most dominant game that we've ever seen him. And he's at like 60, 70% health right now, bro. And in the fashion that he did it was so impressive, bro. He was hitting from everywhere. Defense was defense, bro. I'm just like, and all the outside of him too, everyone else did their job. Kelly Oubre showed up and did his things defensively, even though like Jalen Brunson did his thing or whatnot. And Kelly, what's his name? Kyle Lowry was impactful too, as usual. Tobias Harris was just standing there and doing Tobias Harris things, man. But Joel Embiid showed up. I know, I hate him too.
Sixers fans despise Tobias Harris, and I've always, I knew he was been disappointing for the past few years, and I obviously understood the reasons. For some reason, until you see it in a playoff series, I forget every year who Tobias Harris is, and then the first round starts, and I'm like, God, I understand why they want this guy's head on a spike. He just runs around and misses
God.
fucking layups while all these shooters are open. Like, I understand why they hate him. Like, obviously, I'm not a Sixers fan, so I'm not that pressed about it. Let him stay there, make his money. But I get why they have so much vitriol for him, because his lack of vision and his ability to take the shot, no matter how open he is, every time he touches the ball, and miss all those shots is breathtaking.
Yeah, he was 4 of 10 tonight.
That's a good Tobias Harris game.
Yeah, 4 of 10, 0 for 2 from 3, 8 points, 5 rebounds, no assists.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah.
Well, Donovan, give us a recap. Obviously, game 2 was game 2. Your Knicks stole the game in controversial fashion.
Yeah.
Came into this game, like we said, series doesn't start until somebody wins on the road. That continues on. What did you feel was the difference in this game and the last one?
The difference in this game was the third quarter, because throughout the first half it was really kind of even. They were going back and forth. The Knicks were able to come back, take the lead going into halftime, and then the third quarter came and the Sixers leaned forward and they're like, we're just not going to miss a shot. Joel Embiid, I'm not going to miss a three. They went ballistic, and it really felt like that moment felt like the time where you're playing math, because the Knicks weren't inept on offense in the third quarter. Like, they were fine. They were okay. But they're getting twos while the Sixers every time down the floor are knocking down threes. And Joel Embiid is just rising up, taking threes. So that ultimately was the difference in the game. If you want to go later, the Knicks had a lot of unforced turnovers when they're trying to climb back into the game. They fouled way too much. Like, if the box score and like the team summary, all that stuff is fairly similar in terms of like 3-point percentage, right? Free throws, free throw percentage, rebounds, all that type of stuff. But the Sixers get 14 more free throws than the Knicks. And that ends up being kind of where they make their living. And Embiid gets 14, 15 free throws on the night. So that's the difference. So the Knicks had opportunities to win this. They did not. But we really got the full Joel Embiid experience tonight. Like, you got,
for sure, 100%.
You got Joel Embiid being dominant down low. You saw him. You saw the mid-range game. You saw the pull-up three game. You saw all of it. And at the same time, you also got the dirty foul baiting stuff that he does all year long. Let me tell you something. Joel Embiid shouldn't even have had the opportunity to score 50, because oh my goodness, the flagrant foul that he did on Mitchell Robinson in the first quarter. Mitchell Robinson, they're going up for a rebound. Joel Embiid is on the ground, grabs Mitchell Robinson's legs while he's going up. And he's lucky that they called it a flagrant foul, because I promise you, if anybody did that to Joel Embiid, he would be crying and everybody would be talking about, oh my God, how dirty Mitchell Robinson is. Oh my God, the Knicks get to play football every single time. That is a dirty play. It's a dangerous play. He should have been ejected, and the Sixers should have never been in this situation at all. I hated it. It should be upgraded to a flagrant 2, and he should be suspended for game 4. It is ridiculous. that he was not thrown out of that game. I'm
If
so mad.
If Karl Anthony Towns did this, they would have sent him to the guillotine. It would have been
Oh my
awful.
goodness. What is this? This is actually like across players. Not obviously like I'm pressed about it because like I'm a Knicks fan, but if anybody did this is a flagrant 2 foul. This is dangerous to be grabbing somebody's
absurd.
knees while they're jumping up and you're on the floor. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I've never once been like, this guy should get ejected.
Yeah.
I'm very like not pro ejection. I don't know if I say anti, but I'm never like, get him out of here. I saw this and I was like, he should probably not be in the rest of this game. Like, this is kind of ridiculous.
If it was any other player, for sure. If this was Kyle Lowry doing some shit like this, he would be out immediately. If it was Kelly Oubre or some Paul Reed, someone else, out immediately. But we all know why he didn't get ejected. If he got ejected,
I understand why, but that's crazy. Yo, if you go to the NFL, this play is outlawed because Tom Brady tore his ACL on that exact play because somebody's on the ground and they're tackling him. You can't do that. You can't do that. And listen, Nick Nurse, he's saying I didn't see it. He's saying that he didn't see the foul. Straight out of Steve Kerr's book whenever Draymond Green does something wild. Steve Kerr's like, I simply do not see. I don't know what you're talking about. But Nikhil, I sent you a tweet. Can you pull it up of at the very end of the game, there was a play. Joel Embiid sets a screen on Josh Hart. He got away with it as well. The game was already out of hand. It wasn't going to affect anything. But this right here, that right there, watch this right here. He's coming up. Josh Hart is trying to get through it. Backs up, throws his hip into it. You want to talk about oh my goodness. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. So mad.
That's not illegal, is it?
No, it's not legal. And bro, when we did a TikTok like months ago and we were talking about like how fun it is to rate people's games. And I said Joel Embiid is like 10 on a good day, but at the same time, he's also like a 6 because he does stupid stuff like this. And you were getting upset. This is upsetting. This is ridiculous for a guy 7'2", 280 to just be throwing his body around like that the entire game. It's like, bro, the idea, it's funny on Twitter, and I think that like the phrase is hilarious, but like literally ethical hoops is so freaking like it's so frustrating watching Joel Embiid get into his foul baiting bag. And that kind of stuff, like Mo said, if it was Kyle Lowry, let Patrick Beverley do that, right? Let Kyle Lowry do that. Let Draymond Green do that. They're suspended for multiple games. They're fined. It's flagrant 2s. Everybody's calling them a dirty player. Joel Embiid needs the same exact treatment, and that should have never happened. That should have never happened in today's game. You should have never had the opportunity to score 50. I'm so pissed off that happened, bro. Oh my God.
Okay, so on the actual part, what happened on the court this game, I think it was kind of just like a return to normalcy a little bit for the Knicks. They won the first 2 games. Okay, so going into it, the 76ers, obviously with Joel Embiid, have just as much firepower to be the more talented team. Like they're obviously like it's going to be a close series for a reason. We saw the first 2 games be won on the margins in very close ways because the Knicks were rebounding like 44% of their offensive rebounds. That's ridiculous. Almost half the time they shoot, they were getting their own rebound. That just made up for everything on top of the fact they were shooting over 40% from 3 as a team. And even until tonight, they shot 44% from 3 again. Just an absurd level of hot shooting for an extended period of time. You get that many second chance points and you hit that many 3-pointers, the math is on your side. But tonight they had the same exact offensive rebound percentage as the Philadelphia 76ers did. So in the end, if that's going to happen, you're not going to have that huge advantage. And Joel Embiid is going to cook, do his normal stuff in the mid-range, get all his free throws, do normal Joel Embiid stuff. Then you have a much better chance of winning.
You also have a better chance of winning when he injures Mitchell Robinson and he goes out in the third quarter. Mitchell Robinson doesn't come back after halftime. If you watch in the first 2 games, the reason why the Knicks have been able to tire out Joel Embiid is partially because of his knee, but also you've been able to throw multiple looks and multiple bodies at Joel Embiid. And for somebody that good, that's what you have to do, right? You have to be able to throw different things, different schemes, whatever, just to tire him out, just to keep him honest. The moment Mitchell Robinson goes out and does not come back from halftime, Joel Embiid obviously is like, oh, I don't have a guy who's 7'1" guarding me. Yeah, let me get whatever I want. He had 19 in the third quarter. He went off. There's that. And on top of that, listen, shout out to Cam Payne because
let's talk about it.
Cam Payne if we're actually actually talking about basketball, the Sixers have had like the first 2 games, Embiid has been good and he's been great, and the Sixers have won those minutes. They've lost the minutes that he's been on, and the bench has given them absolutely nothing, right? Campaign came in today, played limited minutes, was hooping. He had several big threes, several big shots, a lot of big plays. He gave them the punch and the stability that they needed to where normally when Campaign was doing his stuff, that's normally when the Knicks make their run, overtake the lead, kind of spread the game out, and then now the Sixers are fighting from behind. They didn't have to do that today, and they were even the entire time because of Campaign. So I do want to shout Campaign out because he was doing his thing.
Yeah.
Campaign had 11 points. That's the first double-digit bench player for the Sixers the whole series.
That's all they've needed because Buddy Hield isn't doing anything. Tobias Harris isn't doing anything.
Listen, okay, well, I'm glad you said that because let me get to the thing. Mo, I'll let you cook. The first thing, because I think you have the other team. Oh, no, actually, Donovan has the Knicks. But I have the 76ers as one of my teams from my one thing I learned. The one thing I learned about the 76ers is they desperately need to use that cast space this summer because their supporting cast outside of Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey blows.
Yes.
There is no scoring impact on that bench or even in the starting lineup outside those 2 guys. Those 2 players account for over 60% of the team's total points, which maybe isn't that uncommon for a top 2 duo. But when you watch on the court, like I said, Tobias Harris sees ball, shoots ball, misses ball. Kyle Lowry's played well, obviously not a scoring punch. Buddy Hield was brought here to be a tertiary option and be able to, ideally, you would think in a perfect world, be better when Joel Embiid comes back in the lineup because he can use the gravity of Joel Embiid and hit these open threes. He played 4 minutes tonight because he is a non-factor on both sides of the ball. He hasn't scored double digits in any of these games. Hasn't scored double digits since 3 games before the playoffs started, I think. Complete non-factor. There's no punch outside of those 2 guys unless you're praying for fucking Campaign to score 11 points.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what Campaign, he came into the game doing what Buddy Hield was supposed to be doing throughout the last, I don't know, like 10 whatever games, like you mentioned, Isaac. Him be coming out of nowhere and just like hitting threes, talking shit and all this other stuff is like the perfect, unfathomable jolt of energy that they need. And it helped carry on all the momentum that they had, and seal the deal. And if he can do that on a consistent basis, obviously, it's a huge ask. But yeah, someone like Campaign,
he's Campaign.
Campaign is all right. He's a good player. Then he had a good couple of years.
Exactly. He's all right. He's fine.
Yeah, and for him, Kyle Lowry, Oubre, and Batum, and all this other stuff, like you said, I 110% agree with you. My biggest thing with them is like they just have an absurdly weak surrounding cast around Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. But to see them just give them something, anything, just a little bit of something, will help carry them to the future that I predicted, which is like, I think we're going to see the Joel Embiid run finally happen. And if random moments like this continue to happen, then I think it's going to be fulfilled.
You still think you're going to see that happen this year?
For sure, yeah. I think they're going to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. That's been my prediction since day one.
Okay. Yeah, I said this game is still too close. This series is still too close to call. Like you said several times, no way to tell until a home team loses.
Sure.
Maybe I'll still lean the Knicks, but again, it's so tough, man. Donovan, what's the one thing you learned about the Knicks?
Well, I learned that Jericho Sims is about to get some burn in Game 4 because I don't know what the status of Mitchell Robinson is. But I mean, I kind of learned. Really what I already knew is that they're going to need to make a move to get another creator outside of Jalen Brunson because he finally had a good game in the series, but it's a lot to put on him. And like OG played really well and he was able to do a couple things, but we've seen Josh Hart elevate his 3-point shot. If Josh Hart regresses to where Josh Hart normally is, the Sixers have... They might win this series, right? Then you're relying on guys like Deuce McBride and Dante DiVincenzo who have played really well, but those shouldn't be your second options on a nightly basis, especially once you get to like the Eastern Conference Finals, hopefully, right, with this team. So they need somebody to go help Jalen Brunson because the Sixers have done a good job of making him work and he just can't be as efficient as he was in the regular season because of all the length, right? All the amount of dribbling that he has to do just to get to his shot, the amount of beating and fouls that he's taking. they have to going into the offseason. Maybe it's Julius Randle again, and he's healthy next year, but they need somebody else alongside him.
Hey man, thank God the Knicks won those first 2 games because they have like 4 people on that team shooting over 50% from 3.
Yeah.
So thank God they capitalized on that hot shooting variance. There's going to be a theme we see in a lot of these other series we're about to talk about. Shooting variance is a motherfucker in the playoffs. That is what decides a lot of these games against 2 comparable teams. So for them to get out of it 2-0 when they have that on their side is essential.
Yeah, I 110% agree. And if you guys are cool with it, I guess we can move on to the next team. I believe I have the Boston Celtics. And when it comes to shooting variance, bro, they got absolutely cooked, fried, blown to smithereens by the Boston Celtics. The Heat,
by the Miami Heat.
Black Magic. Yeah, by the Miami Heat. The Black Magic, the voodoo stuff that we've been talking about. Everybody's been talking about. It worked. It was apparent. Donovan, please, I hope you have some special black magic protection around your house because you said that this shit was dead. Now, will they win the series? I don't fucking
They're not going to win the
It
series.
happened. Still, grabbing a game like that in such a fashion, randomly, and just seeing how the Boston Celtics were in just despair, Al Horford not figuring out how to, go over these Bam Adebayo screens that are very illegal, but they're very effective in their playoff screens. Who cares if
He said so many illegal screens. Yeah. I'm glad you said that shit. That man is the dirtiest screener outside of Draymond Green.
It's disgusting.
It's hilarious.
It's disgusting.
Yeah. So if you guys somehow don't know, the Celtics came out game 1, beat the bricks off the Heat. As expected, no Jimmy Butler. Game 2 came around, and the Miami Heat set their franchise record for most 3-point makes in a playoff game. They hit, I believe it's 23. Yeah, 23 for 43 from the 3-point line.
Crazy. And
the 2 people that we thought, or not thought, but that have proven to make the Boston Celtics an OP team this year compared to last year, Kristaps Porzingis and Drew Holiday, the 2 offseason additions, were absolutely horrendous in this game. KP was 1 for 9. They were begging him to attack mismatches, and he was doing it, and it's something we saw him do with success, I think, more often than not in the regular season. It was a big addition that made them so unbeatable when he played. This game, listen, they switched Jaime Jaquez on him, Tyler Hero on him, Caleb Martin on him. He could not score down low whatsoever. And that maybe that's just the Heat being a great, scrappy defensive team that has really good, really well-coached techniques getting into his body, making him uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. That's Miami Heat basketball. But Drew Holiday proved to be playoff Drew Holiday once again. This is the same thing that Bucks fans warn Celtics fans about. For all the great things Drew Holiday does defensively, he is so massively unreliable as a scorer in the postseason to the point where it's so consistent. He is who he is, right? We can't even be surprised anymore.
I believe over the last few years, his playoff splits have been 40% from the field, 30% from the 3-point line. It's all just wildly inconsistent. I remember when this trade first happened after the Bucks got Dame or whatever, we felt good, obviously, but we're Drew Holiday isn't the type of player to go ahead and solve the setting up the table issues for you at all, because that's just not what he does on a consistent basis, But
exactly.
And that shows with this game right here. Not to say Drew's a terrible player, whatever the case may be, but in terms of what we know the Celtics core issues is, he is just a very cheap Band-Aid putting over the massive wound, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. I think we have some difference in opinions on this because I know obviously we've long said before the season that the Celtics need a point guard, and then when they did this, everyone was kind of oh, they got the point guard, and I was with you, Mo. I was this is not the point guard to decide that. This is probably the 21st best passing point guard in the NBA, and I might be being generous. This is probably the 21st best scoring point guard of the NBA. He doesn't solve those offensive issues at all. Oftentimes it doesn't matter given how talented they are, but it's going to be a problem eventually when they face the best teams in the world. When they come across the Denver Nuggets, it's going to be an issue.
And you're saying it's going to be a problem when they play the Nuggets. When they get to the finals, yeah, we'll see how that plays out. I think they're going to be okay. Because again, Drew Holiday is their 4th option. This is why for me, I had Boston first in our power rankings. I picked them to win the title just because I think that their talent is going to win out. And in Milwaukee, it's different when Chris Middleton goes down and now Drew Holiday is your second scorer and you need him consistently to score and not only create for himself and also do catch and shoots off of Giannis's stuff, but to also set everybody up and guard the best player. That's like you're asking him to be Michael Jordan, right? You are asking him to be the best two-way player in the series. That's different when you also have Tatum, Brown, Derek White, Porzingis, all that other stuff. So that's like these games should happen, but they should have never been in a position to be down this way. I understand Miami shot crazy. It's one game. I'm not going to overreact about like the trajectory of the Celtics. But games like this is why people clown them. This is why people don't believe in them, because it is. You are the number one seed at home in game 2 against a team that doesn't have their number one scorer, right? They don't have a lot of options. They don't have Jimmy Butler or Terry Rozier. They're top 2 like on-ball creators and stuff like that. And you get beat. Like this is, come on. This can't happen.
Yeah, but listen, it can though, and it will, because this is the modern NBA. Shot variance is going to be a thing because we're in the modern NBA, and 3-point volume is at a massive high, and people haven't come around to realize that there's going to be less and less sweeps than there ever has been before. It's going to happen because this. I'm not saying
a sweep.
Down low.
I'm not saying a sweep though.
No, I get it, but this is going to happen. We're going to see this just happen sometimes. And listen, Bam Adebayo did great in the fourth quarter to close the game with his mid-range jump shots. He was playing really well. They got that lead back in the third quarter because of a lot of made threes that were left open, because the game plan was to leave them open and have their worst shooters beat them, because that's how basically every team plays defense in the modern NBA. And sometimes those threes go in. Sometimes Terrence Mann makes 9 against Rudy Gobert, and all people remember is those threes went in. This is just how it is in modern NBA. And I know we like to clown on the Celtics because all the reasons that, they're the Celtics, they have all these expectations and always fail. So they have a tightrope when it comes to scrutiny. This is just the NBA now.
We saw a game 2 a couple days ago where another team was at home down 20, right? And what did they do? They said, okay, let's lean forward, let's lock in, let's go get this win. And that is the team that many people think is going to win the title. I understand that teams get down. I understand sometimes Caleb Martin decides to turn into a knockdown 3-point shooter and he just doesn't want to miss. I get that happens. I understand that you are also playing against supernatural forces in Miami Black Magic. I understand all of this, but the way that they lost to the Heat last year, the fact that this is not game 3, it's not game 4. This is the second game of the playoffs, and you are allowing everybody. You should be as locked in as you should ever be, especially for a team that is unfinished business like they are. You retooled. These kinds of games are the data points that people can point to and say, no, like those you should win. Like you should not be having games like this. And they end up having more games and more data points like this than all the other teams in terms of at the top, especially teams that have 60 wins, historical net ratings. You don't have the same confidence about the Celtics that you do other teams that have that statistical profile. And it's because of outings like this.
We also think they're making the finals, though. So
It is.
You said, I don't want to overreact. Proceeds to overreact.
That's not an overreaction. I just said, I don't think, it's not like I'm saying, oh, they're going to lose in the first round. But the Celtics have over 60 wins. They were 15 games better than everybody else in the conference. And nobody cares about anything that they do because they are championship or bust. And nobody thinks that they're going to win the championship because everybody's looking across the aisle, across the conference and saying, yeah, Jokic is going to win. And you should not look at a team as talented as Boston and say like, nah, like we're just throwing them out the window because Denver's going to.
It's about Jokic more than it is about them. But I understand.
I'm happy that
Mo, what's the one thing you learned about the Celtics?
Yeah, I mean, like the one
crazy.
thing I learned about the Celtics, going back to it, the Drew Holiday thing and Kristaps Porzingis, they are like the true X factors for how the playoffs swing out for them. No one is shitting on Jason Tatum like that at all, or Jaylen Brown. They played fairly well on the offensive end, at least. And yeah, like where they cashed in most of those chips, Drew Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis, they are the true X factors, and they determine how high they go ahead and fly this postseason.
Nice. Okay. But Donovan, what is the one thing you learned about the Heat?
I learned that Eric Spoelstra. I don't even know if I learned it, but like Eric Spoelstra is just solidified. Like you can't go into any series thinking that you don't have a chance if Eric Spoelstra is your coach. And it doesn't matter who's on the floor. He's going to have the guys ready to play. And you just have to be on your P's and Q's if you play the Heat and Eric Spoelstra's coaching, because it's going to be crazy.
What'd you learn, Isaac?
I didn't learn a damn thing. I didn't learn a fucking thing about these teams.
Wait.
I didn't learn shit.
I did learn, and I have more confidence in it more than ever when it comes to the Miami Heat. Me, you, Nikhil, and Donovan, if we got signed to a 10-day contract and we're put in for 5 minutes during a regular season game, we wouldn't get skunked or blown out. I think Eric Spoelstra's defensive mentality and the philosophy, and also like, of course, like a little bit of black magic or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like instilled in us. We can hold up a good run. That's how I learned.
Spoke could teach me how to hit off the dribble threes off of DHOs. I can promise you. I'd be shooting 42% from the corners if I played for Eric Spoelstra.
Yeah.
All right, next series.
Who's next?
Let's talk about Minnesota Timberwolves versus Phoenix Suns. Coming into this series, I had hope that the Suns would push it to 7, I thought. And then when I thought about that logic, I said, okay, if it actually goes to 7, that means that the Suns figured something out and really showed some weaknesses matchup-wise that they could exploit like they did in the regular season. And I picked the Suns to win it in a 7-game series. But knowing that we know what the Timberwolves can do with the size they have, with Rudy Gobert defending at the highest level. So it's like, we'll see what we get from Cat, and that can be the deciding factor. Cat has looked amazing. Anthony Edwards in game 1 looked amazing. Game 2, not so much shooting from the field, but Rudy Gobert has been defending his ass off. Jay McDaniels took over in the second game. Their size is thwarting the Suns in every single way. And it's one of those things where it made sense on paper. It made sense logically. I think the Suns had a chance. After 2 games, I feel like the Suns have no chance anymore. I'm completely on the other side. I'm really believing the Timberwolves after these first 2 games.
Okay. Look.
What do you guys think?
Okay, so the Timberwolves they're on my like little portion of teams that we have. So I learned that I actually believe in the Timberwolves to potentially make the finals.
Listen, I'm not going that far, but I'm with you. I believe in them to go very high.
If they play Denver, which I guess would be next round. If they both win. It's not going to be.
So they will. They're going to play Denver.
Yeah. It's not going to be a 5-game series the way that it was last year.
No.
And I think that they can push Denver to 7. And if you get to a game 7, anything can happen. I learned that I really believe in what they're doing more than I had thought that I would coming into the postseason. So
it has been wonderful to watch all the Rudy Gobert haters eat a dick. I was vindicated for the past week because everybody's realizing, okay, maybe everybody that was defending Rudy Gobert for the past 5 years was right. Maybe once he has good defenders around him, you'll see he's an amazing defender that can defend on the perimeter, doesn't get played off the court in every playoff matchup like the idiots on Twitter say. He very much has been vindicated for basically all the flaws that people have in his game. He's showing that most of it, obviously he's not a perfect player, especially offensively, but the people that have criticisms of his defense have been proven to be mostly people that don't know what they're looking at.
Yeah, this is the series of Rudy Gobert's life right now. Like anybody who's ever hating on him, just show him a game or this entire series, and this is like what his legacy. This is what those 4 defensive player of the year, soon to be 5. Like this is what it's for.
But you know what's great?
What's great? Go ahead.
No, keep going. My bad.
I was gonna say, even offensively, some of the passes that he's been making, he's been hitting a lot of free throws. I believe from this series, he's about like 14 from 16 or something like that from the line. He's well known to be like a 60% free throw shooter this year or throughout his entire career. So even seeing him get it done on that end of the floor is just spectacular. And all the moments, whether it be like him passing it out on the perimeter like we just saw on the screen and ISOing or being in an ISO against KD or Devin Booker and able to just like maintain and move his feet and the hips and just not be a cone like people swear that he is just beautiful to see. And this is just like a legacy defining moment for Rudy Gobert in my mind, because I, like you, Isaac, had the Phoenix Suns winning the series.
You know what's great? You're 100% right. Everything you're saying about this being the series of his life, legacy defining, whatever. Sure. He's just playing regular Rudy Gobert basketball, and people are finally understanding it because, like I said, he has a team construction that actually allows his defense to shine. He's not playing any better than he would on a regular week. This is just him being Rudy Gobert, and people don't have the biases of seeing other people hold him back defensively to be able to point to and be like, oh, he's a scrub and all this stuff. It's just winning bias at this point.
He's talking to you, Donovan.
Listen,
Donovan's not the word. Donovan's isn't that serious. Donovan's just like, I think he's lame.
Listen,
so like, it's not as much about Donovan.
Listen, we will always have 2019. Listen, Rudy Gobert haters, I will always have the clip of him spinning around chasing Terrence Mann. So I don't care, right? It is what it is.
You always have Bojan Bogdanovich's ass not being able to defend anybody. Jordan Clarkson's ass not being able to defend anybody.
No.
That's what you always have.
No. I know what I saw.
I'd be spinning around too if there was 4 cutters coming in every time, and I'm like, oh God, who do I guard? I'd be doing circles too.
Let's go, DPOY. Let's figure it out. let's find something.
Best.
Let's find something.
You're the worst.
He's been playing well, and I've also learned that Karl-Anthony Towns is he's okay, right in a playoff setting. He's okay. He's not
been great. I've been so encouraged.
He still had some of the Karl-Anthony Towns moments, but
very true.
This is the role that he should be, right? Karl-Anthony Towns should not be your number one offensive option going into a playoff series. But if you have Anthony Edwards as your one, also if you have Scottie Pippen 2.0 and Jaden McDaniels, who's also scoring 25. Then yeah, Karl-Anthony Towns can just, he can just do what he needs to do, a little bit here, a little bit there, and everything comes together. I think that I think that the series is over. I think that the Thunder, not the Thunder. I think that the Timberwolves are probably going to get this in 5. Because I do see a game where like at the end of the day, it still is. It's Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and Bradley Beal. They're going to go crazy one game. And so I will give them that. I'll be shocked if that doesn't happen. But Anthony Edwards had a bad game in game 2. And you'd think if you're the Suns, if there was ever a time to capitalize off of a bad Anthony Edwards game, it would be game 2. And you look up and you still lose by double digits. So it's not a great situation right now.
He had 15 points, shot 25% from the field. But along with those 15 points, he had 8 assists, was playing tremendous defense. It was bringing a great decoy at times and just getting all his teammates involved. He wasn't forcing it as like times we would see like throughout the prior years of his career,
I'm glad you said this.
Right now, Anthony Edwards is looking like he's making the leap. He's outplaying Kevin Durant and Devin Booker in this series. The Kevin Durant who we say is a surefire top 10 player, and the Devin Booker who we say, in my opinion, surefire top 10 player. Worst case scenario, he's top 15. Answer that conversation.
I'm glad you said that, Mo. Donovan said Anthony Edwards had a bad game and they still cooked. The fact that Anthony Edwards had a bad game shooting wise, but everything else was great and he played along the scheme, helped make everybody better, played well defensively. That's the difference between this version of Anthony Edwards and the one we've seen in previous years. Last year in the playoffs, he was scoring his ass off. You saw the glimpses of this guy being a true superstar playoff riser in the making. Now we're seeing a full, well-rounded player that doesn't need to have a shot falling to be able to impact the game and make his team better because the people around him are good enough to pick up that slack.
Exactly. And that's the difference. It's like, okay, if your shot's not falling, what else are you going to do? How are you going to impact the game? And someone like Anthony Edwards has learned to impact the game in a myriad of ways, whether it be, of course, like facilitating the insane defense that he plays on a consistent basis, whether it be, guarding KD, D-Book, or Bradley Beal, or being a fucking help defender whenever you need. Like, he's everywhere at all times, And I sit here and, not to flip the script, but I just feel so sad and sorry for like the Phoenix Suns and their fans, because it's just like you see all these issues And a lot of these issues would be fixed offensively if they just had a point guard. Sometimes I see their offense and I'm like, damn, where are the 3-pointers at? I see too much ISO ball at times. There's no off-ball movement, and all those things just lead to me saying, oh, it'll be fixed if they had a point guard. Oh, it would be fixed if they had a point guard. Oh, point guard, you know?
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because this is my team on the one thing we learn about every team. And what I learned about the Suns is I fooled myself in the back half of the year by telling myself there's a reason to believe in them, and we were right from them. We were right about them once they made the Bradley Beal trade. Because once they made the Bradley Beal trade, and it was clear to us that they were probably going to play Devin Booker at point guard. Some people were like, listen, he's a good passer, which I agree with. He can be a James Harden type and be the next guy to move to point guard and really unleash his playmaking and scoring and yada, yada, yada. I was like, what the fuck? Why? He's the best shooting guard in the league for a reason. Because he's fantastic off ball, versatile enough to be able to obviously be on ball and use his pick and roll game, be an above average passer. But what makes him special is the ability to play next to another guard and use his off ball movement, use his cutting, use the versatility of being the guy that's not always with the ball in his hands. That's what made Devin Booker special. He was a good passer for a shooting guard as a secondary passer, but he was never like a dime you up in the pick and roll guy. So what I learned about this team is he needs to be a shooting guard again. Point book is not going to work. For everything you just said, the offense needs organization. Doing this, everyone's the point guard stuff. It's almost like when the Nets were like, everyone's a coach when Kyrie said that.
Oh my God.
That's how the fucking Suns view their point guard position. Sometimes it's Bradley Beal. Sometimes it's Devin Booker. Sometimes it's Kevin Durant when he's not standing in the corner doing nothing because everybody else is playing killing basketball. The lack of organization, we were right to point it out when the trade was made. We were right to point out that all these guys do the same things. We're right to point out that now they have no ability to build around the edges of the roster, no ability to add the physicality needed, to add the defense, the dribbling, everything needed. Everything about their team outside the top three is too light, too unphysical, don't have enough dog in them, don't have enough shooting in them, don't have enough anything in them, and the three guys don't complement each other enough to make up for it.
That's something that we talk about a lot. And I think going into the offseason, league-wide, we're probably going to talk about it a little bit more because there's like in 3.5. There's 3.5 guys in the league in like the last 10 years. I guess if we say 10 years, 4 guys. There's 4 guys who you can say you can be our lead scorer and lead playmaker and just be, heliocentric offense. It's Jokic, it's LeBron, it's James Harden, and it's Luka. And outside of that, like, correct me if I'm missing anybody, but outside of those 4 guys, everybody else shines in a particular thing and everybody else needs a point guard. And I think that it's something that we talk about a lot with Jason Tatum and we're talking about it with Devin Booker. You try to make guys grow, but you think that making them grow is making them do things that they are not good at. And granted, they can get better at that, but turning Jason Tatum into Luka Doncic is not necessarily going to make him better. Making Jason Tatum the most elite scorer and defender to where he doesn't even have to really worry about playmaking, that would be better for him because it elevates everything that he's naturally good at. And you can go get a point guard that can worry about all the playmaking stuff and has this person gotten a shot in 2 minutes? Has this guy gotten this? Like, you can do all that. So I think I agree with you. I think like the point guard thing is massive. And when we talk about wings, that's going to be a very, very key part to team building moving forward is getting a guy who can set up the guy for your squad.
Exactly. 100%. This is something I said about Jason Tatum before we saw them make the moves they did make last summer. Whenever we all agreed coming out of last playoffs that something had to change. Because those 4 guys you mentioned, a lot of GMs, a lot of coaches want to make everybody this point forward. It's the LeBron influence, the Harden influence, like you said. Not everybody needs to be a point forward. Some guys are just good wings. Some guys are just good off-ball scorers. I think it's people taking the wrong lessons from D'Antoni offenses and the way everybody's gone. I hope you're right and we see some overcorrection for that because teams that just have wings and no passers piss me off to no end. Celtics from last year, Clippers before James Harden, now the Suns, my least favorite archetype of team. Everybody needs passing, and it's almost like teams have realized they need shooting, and now teams are realizing they need size, but you need passing as well. You need those big guys that can shoot to be able to make plays for others as well. It's just as important as the other stuff.
Facts.
Yeah, I remember a couple of weeks ago, I don't know if it was on a podcast, 8 p.m. Mondays, sometimes Tuesdays, tap in, or if it was a regular.
Oftentimes Tuesday.
Yeah. But I remember we were sitting here talking about, man, like so many teams these days are smarter and they don't like make dumbass mistakes or just do idiotic things. While that may be true, there are still very stupid teams here. They just know how to hide a lot better. And the Phoenix Suns, the spotlight is on you because you have a bunch of doofuses, nematodes, morons. Like, I don't know what it is, but they just have a lot of those type of dudes running in that front office, bro. It's just like
what they have is a new owner. New owner syndrome is real. They want shiny new toys. They want to come in and make a name for themselves. It never fails.
It's sick, man. It's sick. I feel so sorry for them. They
But
just
I will
don't understand roles.
I will say though, Chris Paul need to go, and they didn't give up a whole lot to get Bradley Beal. So still don't think it was like the stupidest trade in the world. They had to get rid of Chris Paul, and I don't know how much better you're going to get.
I don't know. I still disagree with that.
Chris Paul's cooked, man. Something had to change.
Yeah,
Chris
but
Paul's
Bradley,
cooked as fuck.
you're cooked with like for 2 years, and you have no choice about it. You can't do shit because Bradley Beal has the most damning thing that anybody could ever have on their roster, which is a untradeable contract, no trade clause.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So I understand the gamble. I never thought I wouldn't have done it, but
Yeah.
it wasn't the worst trade in the world. But listen, it hasn't worked out, so I can't exactly argue for it.
It's tough, man. It is tough.
Anyways, that is it. 4 series we've gone through, 4 things we've learned about all these different teams, or I guess 8 things.
Mm-hmm.
That makes us exactly halfway through each playoff series. So that means it's time for Producer Corner.
Woo!
Yes, sir. Nikhil, where you at?
All right, Nikhil, what do you got for us today?
All right, man. Listen, we're all like a quarter of the way through our lives here.
Not me.
Okay.
The fuck?
How old are
about to
you?
get existential.
Listen, you don't got to answer that. Give the viewers the ballpark. How old are you?
I am not 25. That's all you need to know.
Oh, okay.
Okay. What a weird way to say 24.
Exactly.
Anyways, we're all a quarter of the way through our lives. Listen, I'm starting to get some old man takes. All right. I'm starting to get some boomer takes. It's because the back's been hurting a little more. The wrist has been hurting a little more. Every time I wake up, I got to stretch a little harder. So I'm entitled to these takes, man. I don't care what y'all say. Bro, the wrist has been killing me. I thought I was
right.
AD. Listen, AD was holding his wrist earlier in that playoff game.
the
I was like, yo,
arthritis.
he's just like me. Exactly. Anyways, yeah, so I'm entitled to these boomer ass takes, right? So my take,
fair.
I'm going to ask you guys your takes. My take, and I've talked about this with you guys, and you guys didn't give me the support I wanted. I hate when I go to the gym and I see these little youngsters wearing Crocs and Birks and pajama pants. You know how disrespectful that is to just wanting to put work in? All right,
You're old as fuck. Yeah. Why do you care?
I'm
No,
sorry.
get out of here.
I can't get with you on that one.
I'm more upset you
Who
guys
gives
don't
a
agree
shit
with
if
me.
they wear pajamas?
I can't.
Bro, we're there to
I
work.
can't get
Like-
with you on that one.
If you're at work and you see a guy with like his toes out, like, bro, can we lock in? Like can we be serious?
I don't care even a little bit.
I'm sorry. I can't.
I wanna see if
I
you guys
can't
don't agree
get
with me.
with you on that. There's times.
What about the
where-
pajama pants?
I mean, you could wear whatever you want. Like it just like wear something that's like reasonable. But like there's times where like if I'm working out or if I'm like doing something with legs, I work out like without my shoes. So I do like I wear socks, but like my shoes won't be on. And so it's like,
Huh?
yeah, because
What happened in gym etiquette?
Flat-footed.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, that makes sense.
yeah, depending on like what kind of shoe
Taking
you
your
have.
shoes off at the gym? That's fucking strange.
It's honestly not. Just,
It's
just
like
so
wearing
that-
Converse
it's
or
just,
something, just like a flat
yeah,
base.
it's just so that you have like a flat base, so that you're not like
Okay.
pushing off of whatever. But like I do that, so I can't get on people for wearing like Birkenstocks or Crocs. Like
Bro,
as long
it
as
drives
you're
me
safe and
crazy.
you don't drop a weight. If you don't drop a weight on your foot, you're fine. Do what you want.
I also want to preface, I'm not shitting on anyone for exercising or making themselves better, but I understand this is an irrational boomer take. I'll own that. Okay, I know I'm probably in the wrong here. I'm upset you
Yeah,
guys
there's no
don't agree
redeeming
with
qualities
me.
to this take.
I'm
There's
he-
no sense of understanding.
sorry.
I'm
You
here
are
to
not cooking.
validate your feelings, Nikhil. Your feelings are 100% valid. Are they right?
No, they're not.
Probably not. But your
Do you agree
feelings are
with me? It's
valid.
validating.
I'm
I
validated.
appreciate that, Mo.
You deserve to feel like that.
Listen, just for that positivity,
No,
Mo, give me one of your boomer takes. It can be rational or irrational.
How?
He told
I
us
only have
last
one.
time.
Let's hear it. Oh yeah. I already told you guys one of my boomer takes for sure. Donovan, do you?
Oh yeah, Fred, you said the whole I don't watch movies during TV
Oh, I forgot
during the
about
day.
During the day,
thing.
which is
I don't
crazy.
consider that. Wait, do y'all consider that boomer take? I thought that was just a Mo being Mo take.
I mean, we can call it what it is. That's some stupid Sigma male Andrew Tate ass take, but we'll call
Oh
it boomer
no,
take
no.
to keep it PG.
No, that's crazy allegation. That's crazy. Isaac, what you take?
Bro, the comments were tight about that. Like they were like, "Yeah, well, I just got back from seeing a movie, Mo. Like, why would you say that about me?"
Midday is different. Midday. I should have added more context to that conversation. But I
I think
digress.
you said what you meant. I think you meant it. I think it's fine.
We talked about that for several minutes. You got your context in.
Yeah,
Like,
you
that
clarified.
wasn't out of context.
Going out to the movie theater, completely different discussion. All right, that's normally fine.
I don't know if you can save that one with that
All right.
line of logic,
All right.
but
Isaac,
What's your
dude?
take? What's your take?
my only boomer take that I realized I realized that, Donovan, you heard this when I said it in the GM recently.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking hate the state of music because of streaming on Spotify and how nobody listens to albums anymore. I despise
Let's
it with
talk
all my
about it.
heart that the only way that the new generation listens to music is playlists, that the norm is, okay, let me preface this. Back in like 2016, 2015, it was like a joke that people would listen to an album one time and have an opinion on it. It's like, oh, this one listen review. People did that as a gimmick. They wrote articles called a one listen review because that was just like obviously like an overreaction essentially. Now that's the norm. Now people listen to an album one time, save the songs they like, and never revisit it again. How can you possibly have an opinion on an album if you heard it one time, save 6 songs, and never heard the other 18 ever again? Like the album was made to be listened to from start to finish and actually taking the songs, give yourself time for each song to grow on you and realize what you like and don't like. The fact that we just have no attention span and listen to it one time and discard it. So many songs I didn't like the first time or didn't even like have time to like register the different things about it and have any opinion on it. I grow to be some of my favorite songs ever. Like the fact that some people just lose that experience is crazy to me.
See, keep going. You're cooking. You're cooking. Because I feel the exact same way. Because listen, first of all, people do that. You do that with Drake, but you don't do that with every other artist on the planet. Everybody will go back to a Drake album 2-3 years after it comes out. After you've already said like, yeah, this album is not good. I don't like X, Y, and Z song. And you would just listen to it over and over and over again. And then eventually you're like, oh, I actually kind of get it. Like I understand what's going on here. And the fact that you would give it that chance several years later is one, a very like fun and cool thing about music, but it's also, you have to be able to live with music and allow it to like set in. Sometimes stuff just doesn't hit the first time. And, you know, the way that it sounds in your headphones is different, and you might be driving down the street and now it sounds different in your car and you're like, oh my gosh, everything's clicked. Like I heard this one background guitar, or I heard this, this one line. You need that for music. It's probably something that's being lost a little bit because of streaming, right? Because everything's just like so go. But I mean, I definitely do agree with that though.
People a year later are like, oh, CLB's actually good. I just now realized you would have felt that the first week if you listened to it more than one time. If you didn't just say, oh, what's a random song?
It's mid.
The Remorse didn't click for me, not saving. Second time you listen to Remorse, you're like, oh shit, he's fucking spitting. This is amazing. If you would have gave it a chance, you would have realized it before a year later.
I wish I had that gene, like when it comes to listening, because for me, I don't like listening to albums. Like I don't participate in discourse for this reason. I'm a daily Mix One.
You're
merchant.
one of them. You're one of them.
No attention span. It's fine.
No, but y'all say this. It's not like TikTok brand. I've always been like this. Like I'll just choose daily Mix One, or I'll shuffle my
Yes,
songs.
listen. Some people
it's just who I am.
honestly like aren't into music like that, and for those people, like that's fine. But if you are out here trying to participate in discourse, want to be a part of, rap
The
music
culture.
cult. I hate that I'm saying it, but like if you want to be like a part of that community, then you should be giving albums and songs and artists more of your time to actually dive into what they're doing.
You just can't have an opinion on an album if you don't actually listen to the whole thing. Like if you only listen to your favorite songs, your opinion on the album is completely worthless.
And that reverts back to like one of our last producer corners. Everybody just has to have an opinion the second that they can think of one and publicize it so they can be cool and blah, call some shit trash. It is what it is, man. It's tough.
There you go. There's our old man takes.
Nah, wait, we didn't hear from Don yet. I know you got a whole bag of them.
Yeah. Yeah, you have 1,000 we've heard over the course of 85 episodes.
Just
Go ahead and
pick
give
one
us
at
one more we
random.
haven't heard.
There's one that's coming to my mind right now. I've genuinely am starting to get annoyed. Yo, go out and get a haircut, fam. Like, I don't know who I'm talking to. I do not like, I do not like, and I understand when we were like in middle school and high school, 2015, 2016, the Duke haircut, right? Like that was a thing. You can get the little twist in it. It's like a fashionable nappy type of thing. Bro, go cut your hair. Like
Donovan, haircuts are expensive these days.
Bro, you
No
should
facts,
not be
bro.
out. Then learn how to cut your own hair because
45.
This is an actual old man take. This is
No, yeah,
ridiculous.
this is man.
Not
I
everybody
can
got $60
appreciate.
to bust
Listen,
every
I
2
can
weeks.
appreciate if you are growing your hair out. That's fine. If you want braids, if you want dreads, if that's your goal, fine. Get a shape up every month. Like that's all you have
We
to
just
do.
lost a couple viewers, man. Damn.
Let's keep it clean, right? Let's keep
This is
ourselves
a bad
ourselves
take.
tight. Let's like, you know what I'm saying? Like let's be
It's that military
come on
kid
now.
in you.
Come on. Like listen, can we get a haircut?
I'll just say this. We can keep it moving and go back to the show, but there's some stuff we can psychoanalyze within this take of yours. I'll
Let's
say that.
let's get
There's some
some
places we
haircuts.
can take this conversation if we want to.
Let's get some haircuts. And I promise you it's not even on like what you're trying to say. It's just that does bother me though.
There's a couple things I'm trying to say.
It really
I know.
bothers me now.
I promise you it's not. Let's just like, come on now. Let's get a haircut.
Back to the show.
Thanks,
Let's
y'all.
go back. Let's duck this.
Let's get a haircut.
What series you guys want to do next?
Let's see. Let's go through my list. Who do I have next? Oh, let's talk about the Bucks and the Pacers. Because I have two things.
Okay.
I have the Pacers on my list. I have two things that I've learned in this series. The first thing is that the league does not care at all about the Indiana Pacers. They've scheduled them on NBA TV twice, and whenever this comes out, they are playing in a triple header, and their game starts at 4:30 in the afternoon. They do not care about giving the Indiana Pacers a reasonable time slot for the playoffs. They don't care. So that's the first thing that I've learned. The second thing that I have learned, or kind of confirmed, is that Pascal Siakam is still that dude. And
Yep.
Pascal Siakam was in a terrible situation in Toronto. Nobody cared. Nobody liked him. And now he's in a place where they actually need his scoring. They like him because he is an elite talent and better than everybody else outside of Tyrese. Who knows? But he's better
He's
than
better
Tyrese
than
in
him
the
too
series.
right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's the best guy on the team right now. And he's flat out hooping. And if they win this series, it's going to be because he's going in every night, dropping buckets, playing defense, shooting threes, doing all that stuff. So Pascal, shout out to you. You are doing your job.
I've learned that people just want to see points because Tyrese is playing great. Tyrese is playing awesome. He's just not shooting a lot because they're throwing a lot of hard doubles to him, taking the ball out of his hands, and he's content by making the right pass and keeping the offense flowing, putting Pascal Siakam in single coverage to attack mismatches, and just letting the rest of the offense eat. And that's why they won the second game. He only took, I think he had 8 shot attempts.
Yeah.
Played a fantastic game. He's still averaging 10 assists per game, 2.5 turnovers, really being a point guard in a traditional sense, like a pre-2015 sense. And it works. Obviously, I'd love to see IST Tyrese come through and be able to rain threes and be the top 4-point guard he was playing like. He's not scoring at that level anymore, but the way he's maneuvering the game and really getting everybody involved and keeping the offense flowing has been very impressive to me.
Yeah, I like that. I like that take. Although I still think he could be playing better. You don't need to be like putting up fucking 27 like he was way earlier in the season or whatever. But at times I do still think his aggression could be a lot better in terms of like, looking for his own stuff. Because at times if you are the star player and you are the level of star that incorporates in your game, like you have to get certain buckets off to get your team out of the thumbs, because Pascal Siakam is not going to be out here being the clear 1A at all times. Like he's supposed to be sharing that load. But regardless of the fact, I'd rather see players not force it and make sure everyone eats rather than like force it, because that just becomes into a very ugly game.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's a star, but because of the passing mostly. He's not a star scorer in the way like Anthony Edwards is, where he can find a way to get to his spots and take tough buckets. He doesn't have like a mid-range game. He's not going to be traveling through contact to finish at the rim. If they throw a hard double at him and force him to hit the hard passes to the short roll and keep him moving, he's just going to do that. That's just his game, right? Like, I don't need to see him trying to fucking get to hezzy tween mid-range shots. It's not his game, so I would rather him just keep it pushing and be within himself, because he's abnormal in that way, because all the other star point guards are also like high octane scorers. And he can be that when the 3-point shot is falling. But he's the type of guy that you can double to get the ball out of his hands, and you're going to have to build a team around that, because he's never going to be the guy that just finds a way to get buckets either way.
Which is so crazy considering what we saw in the first part of the season, because it really like felt like that, you know. It felt like he was like he was going to be able to do both. But yeah, no, you're right. So shout out to the Pacers, because after game 1, I was like, they're looking like the young team that's getting exposed, and then they came back in game 2 on the road, fought back, got a win. But again, in my opinion, that's because of Pascal. That's because he is putting this team on his back. So we'll see what they look like today whenever this comes out in game 3. I had picked them to win the series because I thought that we were going to see that version of Tyrese. But if Pascal is going to do this, then everybody else can just fall in line and they'll be fine.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like Giannis is going to play in the series at all at this rate. He still hasn't been cleared to even get back to doing full contact activity. So if he's not going to play, you might be right. The Pacers still have a very good chance to win this game, because they don't have a ton of firepower outside of Dame.
To double down on that, like Chris Middleton's like pulled into question too now, and his status is like he didn't practice, I believe, on Tuesday, and so his status is pretty unsure. But even if he does play, like, he has been absolutely great, or the type of Chris Middleton that you need in order to pull a series off like this, now that they're shorthanded. So all signs is looking like with the type of defense that Indiana is playing on Dame during the second half especially, Dame just consistently goes berserk, and then the defensive mantra just switches for the Pacers, and like, all right, all attention needs to be focused on him. Zap all of it, or try to zap all of his superpowers, and that's what they've been doing as of late. Throwing all these types of coverages and shit and making other people make decisions. And they're just so limited, you know. They have only a few players they don't have really any players outside of Chris Middleton, matter of fact, who can go ahead and break down certain defenses and make certain passes and shit like that. And so they need Chris Middleton, bro. That's what I need. That's one thing that I learned more than ever. They need Chris Middleton in order to even see the slightest of success.
Yeah. The Bucks are my team. On the one thing I learned, is I'm starting to think that it's true that Dame and Giannis just don't mesh. Will we see Dame play without? I said this on stream Monday after game 1. When we see Dame play without Giannis, he looks exactly like Portland Dame to me. And I think a part of that is, obviously we talked at length in the past about their games not necessarily meshing the pick and roll like we hoped it could, and that Giannis needs the ball in his hand, so does Dame, yada yada. I just feel like Dame is a very rhythm-based player. We've seen in the past he's had rough stretches, like start of a couple years ago before he got hurt. That season he only played 12 games, where he was really out of rhythm because he was coming off an injury and just looks like super washed. Just the nature of him being a small guard that really relies on his shot, he needs to be in rhythm. And I just feel like he looks so much more comfortable when he's consistently has a ball in his hands. And I wonder if that's just like a trait of him that's kind of unavoidable, if he's just not super scalable next to other lead ball handlers like a Giannis.
Yeah. And I remember we had this conversation. I think we talked about, like, okay, at this point in time, like, who needs to bend the other way and figure out ways to fit around each other. And I think we came to a consensus, like, it should be Dame, but if it can't be Dame, will you? Yeah,
then what?
Yeah, need to ask Giannis to play a certain role. Will he be happy about that? We've seen that he doesn't, want to be necessarily a traditional big man. He likes to have the ball in his hands and all types of scenarios. So it's like, what do you do at that point? It's hella awkward.
Yeah, we can move on. There's not much to say yet. We'll see if Giannis comes back. We'll see what the series continues to be. But if there's no Giannis, this will be a very close series that gets very little attention.
Yeah, tough scene, man.
Let's talk about my favorite series by far so far, because it has been validating for a lot of things I just stuck my flag into throughout the season. OKC versus New Orleans. Who has what teams here? Let me check.
I think
this is, like I said. Okay, I have okay. Yeah, I gave myself OKC because I got some shit to say. And then Mo, you have New Orleans.
Yeah.
So as you guys know, New Orleans had a tough fought first game. We talked about it on the stream last week. Many people left that game thinking, oh, it's going to be a series. You know, clearly they have the length to disrupt OKC, make them struggle, get them uncomfortable, all this stuff. Trey Murphy looks awesome. Herb Jones looks awesome. I agreed. But I didn't think it was a good sign for them. I just thought it was them getting the worst case scenario out of OKC and still losing. So I left that game thinking, might be 5 games. Because if they couldn't win that game, you're not going to get very many games like that where OKC shoots that poorly from 3, given their ridiculous level of 3-point shooting across the roster. Game 2 came around and they beat the piss out of them. All the threes are falling. All the ways that the Pelicans tried to attack down low, really abuse the size of mismatches with Chet, didn't work. OKC won the math game. They flooded them from 3-point. They flooded them getting to the rim. Shea played great. J-Dub played great. The Pelicans have no answers. They're just purely outmatched.
Yeah, I agree. I remember towards the very beginning of this game 2 that we saw, Jonas Valanciunas was looking like fucking Shaquille O'Neal in this bitch, you know? And right at the opposite end, Chet Holmgren was looking like some insane, like Super Saiyan Dirk on defense, bro. Like he was, although like Jonas Valanciunas was doing the big boy bully ball shit, which worked at a certain point in time, you know, like you said, Isaac, in a numbers game, the numbers just don't match up at all. And with the consistent spacing that he was able to provide, that was due to Jonas Valanciunas being just Jonas Valanciunas, big, slow, heavy-footed at times, and can't navigate those things necessarily that well. They took full advantage. And like I said, or like you said, you know, like the numbers just don't match up and they're just simply overpowered. Now, one thing I will say about New Orleans is that I learned that CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram probably, and definitely Jonas Valanciunas can no longer, like this series right here should tell you everything you need to know about this team, and you have enough information to make like hard line moves.
Yeah, they definitely need to make some trades. I'm glad you brought up the part that Jonas Valanciunas started the game looking like Shaq, because listen, I forgot who was commentating it. Whoever's commentating it was like, that's how you beat this team. You get them down low. You attack Chet Holmgren, blah, 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 blah. Because they started the game with 3 straight post touches to Jonas Valanciunas, and he scored on 2 of them. And everyone's like, whoa, it's Shaquille O'Neal, like you said. That shit, I think, was a dumb-ass plan. And I say that because, one, if you are going to beat the second most high-powered offense in the league with Jonas Valanciunas post touches every play, you're out of your mind if you think that's going to work. They're going to go down the court and get Shai Gilgeous-Alexander isolation points for possessions, all these threes from all these elite shooters, and you're throwing it down low to Jonas Valanciunas like it's 2005. 1, that's bad offense. 2, he's going to get so tired and worn out, and you got him have to run on the other side of the court and guard the perimeter with the stretch 5. It's a ridiculous game plan, I think. I find it very strange that they left game 1 and saw him feasting on the boards, feasting on putbacks and dump-offs, and said, what we need to do is put the ball in his hands and not keep letting him do those tertiary things.
It shows you that they know that they're overmatched, right?
True. They got to figure something out.
Exactly, right? The one area that everybody in the league feels that they can get OKC is, we can out-rebound them. We can bully ball them inside. And so after losing a very close game 1, Willie Green is like, all right, this is all I have. Like, and also normally that would be Zion Williamson barreling every play into Chet Holmgren's chest.
Yeah. True.
And so they have that just in the back of their mind of like, well, if Jonas can do 55% of that, maybe we'll be okay. So like I can I can understand the logic behind it, but man, it set them up for a beatdown. I was crazy in game 2. I learned about OKC. I learned that I don't care what happens for the next 10, 15 years. I want J-Dub and Shea to play together for the rest of their careers. I love them together, and I think that they
Did you say
so
on stream
well.
that you were barking in your living room?
Yeah, and
God damn, this is why they need to tap in on streams. You were barking on the stream too. It's crazy,
bro. Shea hit something. Shea hit some crazy shot, I think, towards the end, And I saw like they showed a clip of J-Dub barking, and I just started barking. I was like, bro, this is so fire. Yo, shout out to OKC too. Shout out to OKC because their fans actually put on the t-shirts in the arenas.
Fact.
This is actually my real old man take. I hate that new school fans don't put on t-shirts in arenas because you mess up the vibe of the playoffs, right? The whole guys, we're trying to be a community. We're trying to do that, but. Everything was working. I was all in on OKC in the series, and J-Dub is fantastic. Like the defense that he's been playing is awesome. Shea really settled into him into his offensive game. In game 2, he found his rhythm, and it feels like they have New Orleans figured out. And
what we saw,
what's up?
Them due to Brandon Ingram, like. A lot of people feel like he's underrated around the league and stuff like that. I feel like he just necessarily wouldn't be in a certain. He'll never reach a certain level of stardom, like top 10, top 15 player, because of how containable at times his game is. Now, whether it'll be like he's just coming back, and of course, like it's easier to guard when you have less offensive threats and all this other shit. Very understandable points. But seeing what J-Dub and Lou Dort have been able to do with him by just like giving him no real breathing room or space at all, and seeing how, I don't know, for some real weird reason, it feels like he's just limited. He's just limited. And it is true because he's just on a straitjacket, bro, when it comes every single time he enters that arena. And to see him just get strapped like that makes me want to move off of him and just be like, yo, like I can't do this at all. But also it makes me look at J-Dub and also Lou Dort and makes me realize how underrated sometimes in my mind this defensive combo together is.
For sure. Yeah. They're going to have to move Ingram. I think I agree with you. CJ will see based on what's out
ass,
there. But
bro. Get him out of here. He's been pissing me off so much. Oh my God.
he has to do so much now with no Zion. Like I guess we gotta keep that in mind. Like Donovan said with the Jonas thing, that like they are playing with no Zion, which changes things. These guys would look a lot different if they had this insane driving to the rim force next to him. But Ingram, it's just the writing's on the wall. He doesn't fit there long term with Zion. The middle of the season, they were playing really well despite their flaws, and we were like, okay, well, listen, if they're gonna be able to win even with these glaring weaknesses, good for them. The weaknesses come out even stronger in the playoff setting, especially when you don't have your star. Like. It's kind of they are who we thought they were. We all came into the season being a little bit down on them because the roster construction was weird at best, and it's proven to be still weird at best.
Yeah,
5 games.
True. But when it comes to
maximum,
when it comes to CJ, it's just so irritating because it's like, okay, I understand, like he's not naturally a point guard. He's played the 2 his entire life. Can't expect him to set the table that well. Okay, cool. Defense, we all know he's fried at that end. When the fuck has he ever guarded someone a day in his life? We never seen it before. Okay, cool. You're not shooting the ball well. That's when it starts to become a real issue. You're not necessarily manipulating the defense as he's not being that elite ISO scorer that we need. And of course, like I said earlier, it's hard to do that when you're the focal point and you're really the only dynamic scorer on that team because Brandon Ingram disappeared. It just feels like he's not enough of a difference maker and impactful of a player for what this roster needs. He needs to be a 6-man or some shit, bro, to be honest with you. Like, that's his
purpose, you relax.
He'll be a fantastic 6-man. What do you mean?
Well, yeah, because he's too good for that. He can still start. He just, like you said, he shouldn't be a point guard. That's for damn sure.
Put him in a Jordan Clarkson role. He's still going to make a lot of
money. Oh, you're a hater. That's crazy. Yeah, listen, he's going to look bad when he's forced to be a first option. That's not his fault.
Listen, so he shouldn't be a first option. Imagine how good he would be as a 6 option. That's
exactly
most kind of cooking.
Elite.
Elite. You make Paul George a 6-man, your team's gonna be great too.
Listen,
but I guess I don't think I said it. The one thing I learned about OKC, if I had to narrow it down, is that Chet Holmgren is just as effective in the playoffs as I could have hoped he could be. Everything I hoped to see out of him in the playoff realm, he showed us that. He did not disappoint us whatsoever. But I mentioned the stuff with them attacking him in the post with Giannis Valanciunas and how I think it was a little bit of a bad game plan. Is really similar to what the Houston Rockets did back when they went super small when they had Russell Westbrook on the team. Remember they were starting PJ Tucker and Robert Covington as their front court? Their whole game plan was like, listen, you come to playoff series, we're going to have James Harden and Russell Westbrook getting us nonstop threes and dunks. If you want to try to beat us by attacking this stout motherfucker in the post and getting 0.8 points per possession per post up, go for it. You can put PJ Tucker in hell. We're going to have James Harden stepping back from 3 every time. We're going to win out over time. That's kind of what they do with Chet, where they knew they were small. We all wanted them to address it. But they were like, listen, Jokic is one thing, but everybody else, if you want to post him every play, I dare you. Go ahead. You're not going to guard him on the other end spamming threes. You're not going to guard Shea. We want you to attack him because even if you get a bucket sometimes and his lack of size holds us back occasionally, that length, he's going to block some of those shots. He's going to make it really difficult for you that over time, he will be just fine. And that is a very strong winning formula for years to come. And I think Chet is quickly going to prove to be one of the most valuable players in the NBA when it comes to team building.
I love when teams like hone in on their identity. They're like, yeah, like you're going to hurt me with your size, but I'm going to make you hurt even fucking more with the versatility, the shooting, the defense that I'm able to provide across all facets of the game, bro. And the last time I seen a team like hone in on their identity and double down on it and be okay with giving up fucking size was like the Golden State Warriors, bro. That was the last team that was completely okay with being small, and they ran the league for years. So
exactly. Draymond's the originator of this. They're like, okay, Draymond's 7 inches smaller than their center. Attack him. I dare you. Go ahead. Keep trying. It's the same thing. Like, it's not going to be an advantage for you.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, granted, you can. There might be some games where it's super close, and you have somebody like that on the other team that could be a contributing factor that can decide a game. But if it's going to be your main source of offense attacking him, it's never going to work.
It's rare. It's rare. There's only 2 players in the league, maybe 3, who will make you make those decisions.
Yeah, this all changes when Jokic comes to those doors. So that's a different animal. That's going to be a little different.
Exactly. Those are one of the players.
Yeah. All right, what series you guys want to talk about next?
What, Mavs Clippers?
Yeah, that's a good one. Series is currently, now it's 2-1. Or wait, is it 1-1?
No, it's 1-1.
It's 1-1.
Oh, yeah, 1-1. Yeah, they split the games in LA. First game they came out, and the Mavs played their worst game of the fucking season probably. They were horrible, and the Clippers were super prepared. Ty Lue put up a masterful game plan, kept the ball moving. We talked about that at length in the stream. Go check it out. Game 2, Kawhi came back. How did you guys feel about how the Clippers look with Kawhi?
It looked like it looked very similar to the way that they had looked in the latter part of the year, where everything was kind of just like, or honestly, not even in the latter part, more towards like when they first got James Harden, where everything was really sluggish, right? The ball wasn't moving the same way that it was in game 1. Kawhi didn't look 100% healthy. And if this is going to be the version of the Clippers that we get, the Mavs should probably win this in 6.
Oh, well, listen, game 1 still happened. I still think it'll be a close 7-game series, but I'm with you. It was definitely more encouraging for the Mavs in game 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Seeing, I guess one of the biggest talking points, I could take away more from the Dallas Mavericks than for the Clippers because they're just such an up and down team, and Kawhi's just coming back from his injury. You haven't seen him in I don't know how long, maybe 3 weeks or so, or 2 weeks or so. But for the Dallas Mavericks, the biggest takeaway and the biggest thing that I learned is that, like, Luka Doncic, his defense throughout the entirety of the game and wanting to take on and hone in those matchups, whether it be on Paul George or Kawhi Leonard, or giving real effort on when it comes to Dante James Harden on the perimeter, is very real. And it gave me hope and optimism that, like, not even optimism, it's very real. Like, he can legitimately play real defense when it matters the most.
Dude, he sat down at the second half, pulled his fucking pants up, tied that string around his waist, and was ready to lock down. That was crazy. I have never seen him defend like that. I think the stat was, I think they were like 2 for 7 attacking him, and he gave up 5 total points, guarding all the 3 of their best players in different scenarios. Easily the most impressive defensive game of his career, given the stakes, right?
Easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
What's interesting about this second game is the Mavs won with defense, which has never been a thing for Luka's career. And that's why all of us ranked them as a top 3 team in the NBA in our power rankings before the playoffs started, because they finished the season for the last 2 weeks as the number 1 defense in the league. That's what showed in this game. They locked the Clippers the fuck down. Kawhi adding into the mix didn't look great, slowed things down. They didn't have the same zip they did in game 1 when they were running straight through James Harden and he was kicking out to all the shooters. And the biggest difference is the Mavs didn't have their worst offensive showing in the world like they did in game 1. And in game 2, they're still below average, actually. But they did just enough so their defense carry them to a win.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. The Clippers need to hit their goddamn shots also, bro. Like, they're just some shots that just, like, at the end of the day, it's like,
That would
bro,
help. That would help a lot.
exactly.
Who has what teams?
I need to see the box. I completely forgot. There's so many games that like we're 2 days removed from it, and I'm like, wait, who had what? Like, what was the team stats looking like? I forget how
Yeah, it's
everybody
hard.
like performed.
I've watched so much basketball; it's mind numbing.
Yeah. What's crazy? Oh wow, this is actually wild. Now that I'm looking at it, so they got 3 points from Maxey. Tim Hardaway went out, so he only had 6. Derek Lively had 3. Josh Green had 4. Dante Exum had 3. The bench was trash in this game.
Yep.
And they were still able. Oh wait, no. Oh my bad. That's game 1. I'm tripping. Anyways,
It happened again in game 2 though. The Mavs did not shoot well at all.
yeah. Okay, so if they play OKC, how do y'all feel about that matchup for them?
It's gonna be tough.
If we're getting this version of Luka on defense, how do you feel about them versus the Thunder?
It's a lot.
I don't think that's gonna be that big of a factor because Luka can do this in spurts like he did to close this game.
Yeah,
He's not gonna be doing that all game for a 7-game series.
obviously.
And
yeah, but
the biggest difference is Luka against this Mavs team. He hasn't gotten to the paint like at all really. He only has 3 shots in the restricted area for the first 2 games. 7 out of 17 in the paint. I think if he's not going to be able to get to the rim at all consistently against this team, he probably won't be able to against the Thunder either. And that's going to be really hard for him. I think, he hasn't been the most efficient in the world, which most stars aren't in these tough settings. You have to chuck to a certain extent. He has to be able to really drive to the rim more to be able to really go outshoot the Thunder, I think.
I see.
It's going to be close, though. It's going to be a tough series.
Yeah, I'm operating under the mindset that the Mavs are going to win. I haven't believed in the Clippers coming in, and obviously, like I picked the Mavs to win the series. So I'm just trying to think about what it would look like in terms of like what I learned. I don't feel like I learned too much about the Mavs in game 2, just because, especially when we got down to like the end of the game. Luka was doing Luka stuff. Like he's taking these step back threes. Yeah. He's hitting crazy shots with James Harden's hand in his face, right? He's yelling at the crowd. He's, crying to the refs every play. Like all the stuff that Luka does every night, he did in game 2. So like I don't know if I like learned anything from it.
I will say there's one thing that I did learn that I think about the Clippers. I learned that I was right. They can't go fucking nowhere if Kawhi Leonard is not Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, definitely.
Returned into this game. I think he shot like 7 for 17. Not a terrible game when you're coming back when it comes to all the time that he missed out on. But he clearly looked like rusty and was like just not playing into shape, obviously, because he wasn't out that long. But he was getting back into rhythm. And in order for them to compete with this team and win this series, like I don't want to say that they should, but like a lot of people think, he needs to be peak form Kawhi, 95 to 100% of what he needs to be in order for them to like overcome this team, bro.
Yeah. This is definitely a close series to watch. We haven't learned much yet. 1-1. We all picked the Mavs to win it. I picked them in 7. You guys picked them in like 5 or 6, I forget. I think we can all still feel confident in the Mavs in that prediction. But listen, next game could change that. We'll see how the Clippers respond. I have faith that Ty Lue will continue to make the right adjustments. It's going to be a chess match for sure.
You never fucking know, man.
Last series to talk about. The most interesting series of them all. The one we've all been dying to watch. We've been tapped in for 48 minutes of each game. 3 games in a row now.
We don't give
Cavaliers
a fuck!
versus Magic. Cavaliers versus Magic. The ultimate rock fight. This series, a big running theme, I talk about this on the stream, a big running theme of a lot of these playoff series is that with the way modern defenses play, it's a lot of I'm daring your worst shooters to hit open threes and beat us. That I don't think your guy who sits in the corner can really outshoot my guy who sits in the corner. Nothing encapsulates that more than this series. 2 defensive teams that fucking suck on offense. The first couple games, the Magic looked like one of the worst playoff offenses I've ever seen. We were like, oh God, are the Cavs going to smoke them? Is this going to be a sweep? We all thought the Magic could really push this team, maybe win it. Jesus, they look horrible. Game 3 came around. Everything I just said flipped. Cavs looked horrible. The Magic did the same thing the Cavs did. They happened to hit a little bit more shots, not a ton of shots, and outbeat them with their defense. This is going to be a rock fight for a while.
We said hit a little bit more shots, and they ended up beating them by like 40 tonight.
Beat the shit out of them, bro.
they beat them 121 to 83.
What'd they shoot from three?
So the Magic shot 35% from three, and that's blowing
They hit league average.
They shot so they shot 35% from three. The Cavs shot 23% from three. The Cavs were 8 of 34. The Magic were 13 of 37. So about the same kind of volume, and they hit 5 more threes.
And then the first two games was the opposite. The Magic shot 22%, something like that, in both the first games, and that's why Paolo was in hell, had nothing around him because those guys couldn't make him pay. The flip just script and the script. Whoa, I said the flip script. The script flipped in this game, and every game is going to come down to that. I think these teams are so evenly matched in so many ways when it comes to their defense. First two games, Donovan Mitchell came alive, led his team to the win. This game, Paolo Banchero was so clearly the best player on the court. He looked the way Donovan Mitchell did in game one.
The way he was diming his teammates up, bro, and making all these contested shots and finding his teammates in these tight windows was so impressive. I believe he finished the game with like 0 turnovers, immaculate performance from him. And I think this game should just remind everyone that he's truly one of the better players at his position and best young players in the entire NBA period. But Donovan, how much did you say they lost by again, the Cavs?
So the Cavs lost by
like 32 or something.
17. They lost by 38.
That is like
crazy. That's
a regular season type of score. That is the type
of game. What I learned
is
both these teams are unserious
in like November, bro. That is absolutely disgusting. And that tells you right there, like there's some psychological thing going on with this Cavs team. Because you don't see this type of blow up.
All it is the Cavs were at home for the first 2 games. The Magic came back home, and the series doesn't start until a road team wins it. So it's like everybody's just doing what they're supposed to do. It's crazy.
All it is they hit their threes one night, then didn't the next night. Like, it's hard to be so reductive about a playoff series. There is so many X's and O's checkpoints going into it. Like, Jalen Suggs did a really good job killing the Cavs with cuts tonight. His ability to attack the rim and create those shots was very different from the first 2 games. So there is some small stuff to point out on both sides. But it's really just which one of these chuckers is going to hit their threes. Because tonight, Evan Mobley and Jared Allen both shot threes and didn't make any of them. The first game, Evan Mobley hit 3 threes. These things are going to be the deciding factors for 7 games.
Yeah, you guys are talking about you, Mo. We're talking about Evan Mobley. Oh, his offense is taking a leap when he scored 16 points. Let me tell you, this guy, 0 of 3 from 3 today, 10 points for Evan Mobley. And I told you, I was like, let's see if he can score 15 every game. Like, there's still, exactly. There's still like levels for Evan Mobley offensively, but it's also, this is kind of like the game, like game 1 for Dallas, where I'm like, all right, eventually it gets to a point where you're just down by so much. All right, we'll just move on to the next game, and I'll see you guys in game 4. Now, if this happens, obviously not a 40-point loss, but if the Magic can tie the series at 2-2, I do think they can win this series. I thought I was out after the first 2 games. I'm right back in. on Orlando. Play the music. I'm back on the bandwagon.
I'm still gonna go with the Cavs just because like I said, I think it's gonna come down to who makes more threes, and I think the Cavs have a higher shooting ceiling that I'm gonna pick them, but it's unpredictable as fuck, I think.
And that is very fair.
I think you're right for picking the Cavs.
Both of these people can't shoot.
Yeah.
Both teams are unserious. That's what I learned. I have nothing for individuals. I learned that Jalen Suggs is my hero, and I love him, and I want them to get a really good offensive guard to play next to him so we can see him thrive as an off-ball guy with like an Anthony Simons or Trae Young, whoever next to him. And I learned that both teams have... No. I need him on this team. And then I learned that both these teams, no matter who wins, they're going nowhere fast because they don't have the offensive capabilities. Everything we said about the Cavs at the end of the season is real. Everything we thought that the Magic can overcome with their defense, with their offensive woes, they can't. Neither team is going to do anything. Somebody has to win. Womp, womp, womp.
Pain.
That's crazy.
What a series,
but listen, I think that's it. Yeah, I think, is that every series? Do we hit everything?
We did. And this is the end of the episode. So now I think it's time for us to transition you guys over to TikTok time, which was recorded yesterday because, like I said, it's like 2 a.m. right now. So we went ahead and got it ready for you guys. So this is a 3-hour pod, I think, which is crazy given the fact we're recording this right now. But that's the power of planning.
Crayon eaters rejoice.
Welcome to yesterday. Everything you asked about for the past hour and a half hasn't happened yet, but welcome to TikTok time. As always, we're going to start with the draft. And this time we're going to do something we haven't done in like a month now, actually. We're going to do a build-the-player draft. With this time the theme being only traits from players who are second-round draft picks. Underdogs.
We're getting it out the mud, right? We are diving deep. We're putting on our draft day hats. We're ready.
Listen, the NFL draft is, I guess, yesterday by the time you're listening to this.
Wow.
I'm full draft mode, so I'm ready.
Let's go ahead and lock this shit in, man. We haven't done a draft in a while, and we see all the goddamn crayon eaters yapping about it, and we have filled you guys' appetite. Let's do this shit.
Here we go.
Joe Alt to the Chargers. Let's go.
Mo. What'd you say?
I said Joe Alt to the Chargers. Let's go.
Oh my God! Listen, y'all are you're listening to this after the draft. It hasn't happened for us yet. I'm a Chargers fan. If they pick Joe Alt, I will be on the top of a roof somewhere, contemplating doing the worst stuff possible. So let's hope it doesn't happen. I can't even say it with a straight face.
God.
Trying to figure out the verbiage to use.
This man is not serious about his fandom.
Give me Malik Neighbors or give me death. But all right, draft order is Donovan, me, Mo. You guys know how it goes. Body, shooting, defense, playmaking, finishing. Where are we going with the first pick, Donovan?
I have to take the best skill here. Give me Nikola Jokic playmaking.
Fair enough.
Very solid. Can't disrespect.
Thank you.
Ooh. You know what? I'll take the second best trait here. Give me Draymond Green defense.
Nice. You guys
Like
both
that.
got like Hall of Fame worthy, one of the best at all times stuff. Now I'm left with the Rubbles. Fuck. Okay, so who is, I guess, I don't want to select a body. I can select the most random person for a body. So you know what? For finishing, actually no, body. Give me Alex English.
So, okay, does he count? Because he was pre-merger. So I look at that. He was the year before the merger. That's why people don't consider him like the best second-round pick ever. That's why I didn't put him on my list.
What in my mind he should count, because when I looked it up, he was.
Oh, good for your mind.
Yeah, exactly.
That's real nerdy.
I know.
I'll allow it.
Because there was only 17 teams, and that's why when people say the best second-round picks of all time, they don't talk about him. And like fucking like Nate Archibald was a second-round pick technically.
You do
because there was
anything
only
to try to
17
just
teams.
nerf me. That's what
My
it
bad. I
is.
should have told you beforehand. It's got to be 1976 or later.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. Go ahead and give me Alex English. Too bad.
He's out of here. What you just said, I'm getting my
Alex
pick
English.
off.
Donovan, do we give it to him?
Of course.
You can have it. I don't care. If
Okay, there you
he's
go.
taking Alex English body, it's fine. It's okay.
Actually, gonna have it.
As his number one overall pick, we're gonna be okay.
And then
Okay.
for shooting, give me Manu Ginobili.
Interesting. Okay, I wasn't picking for finishing, but if you
Same.
want shooting, you can have it.
Saying
I need it.
You are
I
not.
need it.
Listen, the Euro step doesn't come with the shooting, so you
Listen.
messed
Facts.
up.
I
You
got
messed
the
up.
classic left hand with like Ginobili. I don't need none of that other shit. Leave me alone.
I'll take the real best shooter on this list. Give me Kyle Korver shooting.
That's solid. That's solid.
Okay.
All right, Nikola Jokic passing is what I have. Give me. You know what? Give me Marc Gasol body. And
Mark,
then
okay.
Give me
What the
Mar-
fuck?
Give me Marc Gasol. We're gonna try and build Jokic with defense. We got Marc Gasol body, and then I want Dennis Rodman defense.
Okay.
Damn. Donovan you didn't come to play at all. Holy shit.
We're here.
You didn't want athleticism? You just want another chubby guy?
Jokic is not like that. Listen, Jokic and Marc Gasol move very similarly. You give me the passes, you give me Dennis Rodman defense. I'm good.
This is just Jokic's
All right.
defense. I like it.
I don't need it though.
I need to get one. I need to get a good passer before they run out. Give me Doc Rivers passing.
Okay. That's
you know
solid.
what? You got the player, not the coach. Good pick.
Yeah, thank God.
Good pick.
Okay, that's solid. Damn, Doc Rivers passing. Shit. I'm kind of cooked, man.
Yeah, I don't know who you want for passing. You better be happy with Fred VanVleet.
I'm sick to my stomach because I was supposed to be my pick. Fucking give me Fred VanVleet, I guess. I have nothing to lose. Fuck.
Congrats on picking the 42nd best passer in the league right now.
Hey, he'll transform your team in 1 year. Talk to him, Rockets.
He got some
fans.
veteran leadership for you.
Exactly. All right. Now all I have left is defense and finishing. This is kind of nasty, but I need someone who can genuinely finish at the rim with toughness and strength. Carlos Boozer, where you at? It's your time to shine.
That's disgusting.
Let's go.
You know what I'm going to do? For my finishing, give me somebody with some flair. Give me Monte Ellis.
Good God.
Okay. That's good. That's good. All right. So it's back on me. What do I have left? I have shooting and I have finishing. For shooting, give me a big man who can kind of shoot. Give me Rashard Lewis shooting.
Okay.
That's a good pick.
And then for finishing,
Lewis, you're in your bag.
I'm in my bag. And then for finishing, give me DeAndre Jordan.
Fuck, bro. I was going to pick him for body. God damn it.
Yep. Marc Gasol with 40-inch vertical? Come on now.
Nasty.
Come on. We're here.
Donovan, I ain't
You know
gonna
what?
lie. This is one of your biggest drafts of all time.
I'm here. I needed time off to reevaluate my strategies.
My only answer to this, all I can do to one-up you, give me Manute Bol's body.
Okay.
I'm putting elite shooting, elite defense, elite passing, and flashy finishing, and a giant motherfucker.
Okay. You
got
can't move like that.
That's good.
But that's great. You got all the length in the fucking world. It doesn't matter, I guess.
If I shoot like Corver with that height, it's done.
Yeah, and you got Draymond's defense. Yeah, that's kind of nasty. I ain't gonna lie, I am beyond cooked.
Sold.
So a defense, give me one of the more versatile defenders entering the modern era, Paul Millsap. I gotta show love to my former Hawk.
Okay, there you go. Paul Millsap. You can have him.
Great defense, bro. He was our LeBron stopper. That didn't stop him.
All right, so my player is Manute Bol's body, Kyle Korver shooting, Draymond's defense, Doc Rivers playmaking, and Monte Ellis finishing.
Okay. I have Marc Gasol body, Rashard Lewis shooting, Dennis Rodman defense, Nikola Jokic playmaking, and DeAndre Jordan finishing.
It's nasty.
Oh no, I'm proud of this guy. I'm proud of this player.
Yeah, not gonna lie. That player is disgusting, bro. And my player is disgusting too, but in the worst way. I got Alex English body, Manu shooting, Paul Millsap defense, Van Vliet playmaking, and finishing of Carlos Boozer.
That's a
most
solid
random
82
thing.
on 2K. That's good. That's
Everybody
good.
needs a solid 82 on their team, man. What do you mean?
Listen, you're well-rounded, real fundamental.
Yeah.
Everybody's
Sixth
got
man of the
mad
year.
technique.
Congratulations. You got it.
I know how to
Alex
play my
English
role.
body is hilarious.
At first I wanted to build out a wing, and I'm like, ooh, maybe I can go ahead and snipe Lou Williams, who went undrafted, and then I fucking forgot about him. Damn.
You had a plan, you forgot it. That's hilarious. All right, next video we're gonna do. We did a lot of different variations of guess the NBA player. We've done by the haircut, by the jersey, by all kinds of things. I forget what else. Today we're gonna do guess the NBA player by their smile.
Ooh.
And Mo is a famous man knower. Are you a mouth knower too?
All right, listen, I'm not
This is disgusting.
the only knower that I am is I'm a ball knower. That's it. I know ball and I know how to dress nicely. That's it.
I'm not gonna lie, that was corny as hell.
That's the truth. What do you want me to say? Put out some
I'm a
Hall of
ball
Fame
knower.
bar? That's all I do.
Yeah, I have a feeling you'll be a mouth knower too.
That's gross.
Let's find out. Guess the NBA player.
I'm a ball
by
knower.
Only their smile.
Maybe it was.
Guess the NBA player by only their smile. Let's see what you guys got. First off, who is this player?
It's crazy. Some people get to the league, get a bag, fix their teeth. This guy did not do that.
He's real.
Oh man. So this dude is clearly
He got some British teeth. I don't know what this is looking like.
clearly on the lighter side of things. He looks like he could be a twin. I'm smelling this could be Brooke Lopez.
I told you you're a mouth knower. You knew it immediately. This is Brooke Lopez.
I don't know what it is, but
You are not beating allegations.
these are
just
just my
know. It's
powers.
fine.
You just know. Listen,
FBI.
good for you.
Hit
You
me
pay
up.
attention. You pay attention. You're very
Some people know, some people don't. You're one of the ones I happen to know. It's fine.
You're very detail oriented.
Don't be mad that I'm
Good
blessed
job.
and you're not. Get better.
Skill issue. All right, next up. Who is this player?
Ugh.
Oh, is that a?
Sorry.
It was disgusting.
Those are some British-looking lips.
This is someone who fucking
It
hates
is.
his
But
mom.
is this Austin Reeves?
Oh, yep. It's Austin Reeves. You got it.
This is Austin Reeves.
Is Austin Reeves? There you go.
Real Kyle energy from those lips.
Yeah, not gonna lie. That
There's-
picture was
there's only-
very violating right there.
There's
I'm
only
happy you
so
got it as
many.
fast as you did.
There's only so many, pasty men in the NBA. You kind of know who they are. You know what they look like.
Small pool to choose from. I get it.
Exactly.
Donovan tried to take my title away from me. That's what it is.
All right, next up. Who is this player?
Listen, I feel like I know who this is, but I'm not trying to have the title.
You
of
know!
like elite mouth knowledge.
You're
Like,
nasty!
I don't want that attached to me.
Why do you know mouth so well? Ew!
Is this Donovan Mitchell?
This is Donovan Mitchell.
Congratulations.
There you go.
Donovan, you're my newest disciple.
Who's next? Who is this player?
Dang it, I
Sit
know
back.
this one too.
Oh, you know this? Whoa, you
I
want to
think I do. I'm gonna take a shot. I'm gonna try my luck. Is this Devin Booker?
This is the Jenner's finest, Devin Booker.
Damn.
No, I'm kind of in my bag. I
you're on a
didn't
run
think
on your own
I
right
didn't
now.
think that I was gonna be good at this, but I'm kind of here. Like I'm
Out
not
of
gonna-
everything that you'd be good at, you'd be good at guessing mouths, Donovan. Wow. Take a look
So
in the
you're
mirror
right.
after this TikTok.
Stop. Get some help. All right, next player. Let's hope these get harder. Who is this player?
This is okay, guys. I'm sorry. I'm going for the sweep here. This is DeMar DeRozan, correct?
This is DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah, I'm here.
Wow, bruh.
I'm here.
I should have thrown some wild cards and you'll never know.
This man
You
is in
look
his
easy to
bag.
I mean,
All right, next player.
you're putting notable people. If you ask me what Delano Banson's, if you ask me what Wade's smile looks like, I don't know.
All right, next player. Who is this?
Huh.
That Mo's kind of telling. Is this? This I think he's in the nation's capital. Is this Kyle Kuzma?
Oh my
Oh
God,
my
you know
God,
everything about
dude.
Mouth.
This is
Kyle
crazy.
Kuzma.
I didn't even know that one right there.
are here.
Holy shit.
I forgot who I put. I couldn't even tell who that one was.
You, my friend, need to work for the CIA, Donovan. You can help uncover at least 100 unclosed cases, bro.
You know too much.
Exactly.
All right, next up. I don't even know how many are left. Who is this player? Why is he looking like that?
Now is this John Morant?
This is John Moran.
Hey, bro, you're in your bag right now. Holy shit. Never seen a run like this before in my life.
We are
Y'all, if
here.
you're still here, comment, this man knows Mouth. This is the last one.
Listen, I
And
was
he
just trying to
swept this
participate in the
motherfucker.
game, right? I was just trying to keep it moving along. Now I have allegations beside me. This is awful.
It's not allegations. It's just observations.
You
I'm
know
just
ball,
doing my
man.
job. I'm just doing my job.
It is. I know you're good at it. So that's fine. There you go. Usually you're awful at guessing games, but this time you're in your bag.
Yeah, for no reason.
Let's psychoanalyze this a little bit.
No, let's move on to the next TikTok. What do we have?
Great, because the next TikTok is back to you. The spotlight is staying on you.
Let's go.
Because today, you are going to rank your top 10 NBA jerseys. You know, over the last few weeks, me and Mo have taken turns ranking things. I ranked the top 10 players in the league. Mo did the top 10 point guards. Moving on to something more important than all that. Donovan's top 10 jerseys.
Again, now these are just this year. These aren't like all time.
Yeah.
This is just this year, this selection of jerseys.
Current day.
Yeah. Also. Okay, so we're gonna rank, or actually no, I'm just gonna show you guys my top 10 list for jerseys this year.
Yeah. One by one. Let's go.
At number 10, I have the Buck City jerseys. I actually really rock with these. I think
I love it every time the Bucks go blue. It
yeah,
works.
That's why. I think that they've done a really good job leaning into this blue, so I'm putting them at 10.
Okay, that's respectable. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
I like it.
Actually, their previous blue city jersey was better than this one, but it's still pretty solid.
Yeah. Okay. At 9, the Pacers statement jersey.
Oh my
I rock
God.
with this one. I think that this is one of their best jerseys, and it's kind of cool. It looks better
fine.
on court. It looks better on court than it does on this like fake.
The colors
mannequin.
definitely pop on court. I wouldn't call it one of my favorite jerseys in the world, but it's not bad.
Is it top 10 worthy? I don't think so at all.
I don't think so either.
Listen,
It could be better half of the league.
I promise you. Go through the list of jerseys, and you'll see a lot of mid. I try to pick some ones that stood out.
Okay. Well,
But
I won't judge the list until we see the rest.
But at the same time, you have to get some classics in there. Number 8, the Portland Trailblazers home jersey. I love the jersey. It's very simple, very classic. All right.
I'm glad you picked the white one. That's fine.
Yeah. I
I
like
feel like
this
you
one.
picked the
It's
worst
a
one out
timeless
of them
jersey.
all. Ah,
The black one's
This
pretty good, but all white is nice.
I like white jerseys personally more than black jerseys, so that's why I picked this one. But at number 7, we do have a black jersey. Give me the Kings black jersey. This one is
this
hard.
is great. This is hard
This
as
is
fuck.
hard.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
The colors, the colors,
change
the
of text
cursive,
helps a lot.
it's very nice.
I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, that script works.
I agree. When Domantas Sabonis wearing this, I'll be thinking he's a top 5 center in the NBA. This is nice.
When you watch him play defense, oof.
You can't help it. That's the bonus hate is getting off. I love it.
And I was right.
Love it. All right, number 6. I had to put my New York Knicks in there. This jersey is hard. Is very cool. It's a cool mixture. It's like a kit jersey as well. Mixture of the old school, new school. Got pinstripes going on it.
I'm surprised you don't
jersey.
have this one higher.
Not mad at it. It's pretty cool.
There's some nice ones in the top 5.
Okay.
But now top 5, 5th one, Utah Jazz city jerseys.
Ooh, this might have to be higher. This is amazing. I love this jersey.
This is one of the rare good things that the Utah Jazz have done. When anytime you see mountains on their chest, it's a fire jersey.
Yep.
I ain't gonna lie. Your top 3 right now to me is looking real fishy, but we'll see.
Okay. Number 4, Lakers mama jersey. Can I interest anybody in this?
I love it. It's cheating because they don't wear it anymore, but I'll let it rock because it's such a perfect jersey.
It was available on this year's Locker Vision. It was on the list. I do like it.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Okay.
This is hard.
Thank you. Number 3, the Charlotte Hornets. This color.
What?
Listen, this color.
What the fuck?
Harder than
This
the
color.
Utah Jazz?
This color. I don't think that the Hornets can ever go wrong making a jersey with this color. It's very
The feds
hard.
are on their way, buddy.
It's very, very hard to do wrong with this jersey. I think it's a top 3 one.
You better board up those windows, lock those doors, put the fucking chair underneath the handle because the feds are on their way to tear your door down. This is ridiculous.
Charlotte. I'm gonna give you guys credit. I'm giving credit where credit is due. Charlotte. This is the one thing that you guys do well. Shout out to you guys.
This
Number
light,
2. Listen, you don't like it, Mo?
hell no. Ass. But continue.
Anyways, number 2, we're going with the Chicago Bulls black pinstripe. This again, timeless, hard. They were wearing it the other day in the playing game. Reminded me just how much I like these jerseys. These are fire. It looks good on court. You can wear it off the court. Perfect
Classic.
versatility
That's
of a jersey.
Number 1 determines the validity of your list because I'm this close to calling it a hot piece of ass. So let's see.
You've liked the majority of my picks. What do you mean?
You lost it with the Hornets. I ain't gonna lie. That's
one
sold me.
pick. That's one pick. Stay with me now. Stay with me.
Okay. Keep
Okay.
going. I'll walk with you.
My number 1 jersey this year is the white Minnesota Timberwolves
Yeah.
throwback. This jersey is so clean. It is pristine.
saved
It
your
is
list.
beautiful. I love this jersey.
Listen, I got some problems with the list. At least this is here. I would have been pissed if it wasn't.
Oh no, you listen. This was gonna be it. That was gonna be it. But we had to throw in a mixture. Some colors, some new trends, some stuff.
Okay.
Listen, I'm not just a plain white jersey guy, right? I have some versatility in the game.
Fair enough.
This looks so
Listen,
solid.
Every time that we give opinions on jerseys, the fucking 13-year-olds yell at us and say we
Oh,
don't know
no,
ball.
no,
We should
I'm-
put all
I'm
the
gonna
bright
get
colors in
cooked.
there. So yeah, you'll get cooked. But let's see how it goes. It'll be fun.
I said no heat culture jersey. I promise you, if you bring up the heat culture jersey, it's going to be a problem.
They're gonna fry you.
And
for
where's the
Hornets
Brooklyn
being
Nets
at
and their
number
Blues
3,
Clues
though.
jersey? They always want that one on there.
For sure. That's ridiculous. I will never understand that, bro.
That one's
That-
disgusting.
That just means that we're getting old for real if we don't understand how the mass majority enjoy that jersey.
It's not the mass majority. It's the mass majority under 14. Different generations.
Feels like it.
Listen, more power to you. It's a jersey designed for that generation, so they're supposed to like it. Good for them.
Yeah, I agree.
Still, it's awful.
Next thing we're gonna do, well, let's talk legacies. Our favorite thing to talk about, especially you, Donovan. I'm gonna name 2 NBA players, and I want you guys to let me know which one had the better career, or like which career would you rather have if you were a player.
You know, summer is around the corner when we're starting to talk about legacies.
It's evergreen. It's always ready to talk about.
Let's cook, man.
So real simple. Which NBA player's career would you rather have? First off, we got Magic Johnson versus Larry Bird.
Give me Magic Johnson in a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat. I feel like
Wait,
Why is it a
hold on.
heartbeat?
Actually, hold on. Am I thinking about his life too, or just basketball?
Okay.
Why would it be his personal life?
Saying career and like it's part of his career.
No.
Shut up.
Regardless, give me Magic Johnson.
Okay,
For sure.
Donovan.
I'm taking Magic Johnson as well. Also, because he beat Larry Bird more times in the finals, and as long as I can have those bragging rights, I'll take that.
That's a good tiebreaker. When you have the 2 fiercest rivals in NBA history, one can say I'm better than you, one can say I beat you more. I like it.
Who's also
And he has 2 more rings? Yeah, I'm taking that.
who was more influential between the two?
Listen,
That is tough.
do you know how much white people love Larry Bird?
That is true. He's like a unicorn.
He is their basketball North Star. Like, he means a lot to that community. No. They're both kind of like equally influential.
You got me fucked up. You think I'm not taking the Laker over the Celtic? Give me Magic Johnson.
Yeah, give me Magic.
Next up, Tim Duncan versus Kobe Bryant.
I love Tim Duncan so much.
This was hard because obviously Tim Duncan had more longevity, and people often say he's actually the best player 2000s. But we're talking about careers. Being so revered as Kobe and doing it for that iconic of a franchise means something.
And that moves me, right? Y'all know how much I love Tim Duncan, but the world loves Kobe. I'm gonna take Kobe.
Yeah.
But it's also their career, not what happened after the career. So it's just what happened in those times they played in the NBA.
People loved him more during the time. Like, man was official in China.
Yeah, I might have to go Kobe too. His career, the love that he got throughout his career, just how people viewed him then, now, it doesn't matter. I'd want to lean towards Kobe. He has so many cool ass moments in his career. If you tell me like what are the top 5 moments of Tim Duncan's career, my mind's going blank. I'm only thinking of like 2 or 3. But for Kobe, I could talk for days.
Yeah.
Also,
it's hard because I do think Tim's a better player.
Yeah.
But they both have the same amount of rings, and we're talking everything else that comes outside of being who's better. I don't know why. What would make Tim's career better?
I mean, he
Consistency, I guess. That's the only real thing.
Yeah, there's not like a stretch. Listen, the Spurs won 50 straight games for like 20 years. So like
That's pretty crazy.
You were always good. You never had the ups and downs like Kobe did in his career. But
True.
personally, I could never suffer a loss like the Spurs did in Game 6 in 2013. That would end me. So I had to take Kobe's. I would take Kobe's career.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Kobe's
All right, next
answer.
up. Shaquille O'Neal versus Steph Curry.
This is hard.
I know it's not. Shaquille O'Neal is a meme nowadays. Whenever you think of Shaq, or whenever Shaq is brought up in conversations, at least 20% of the time, folks are talking about, oh, you're in your Celtics Shaq era. The last like 6 years of his career shouldn't have happened. Give me Steph Curry in a heartbeat.
But like,
Yeah, but prime Shaq was
That's
prime
what I'm
Shaq.
saying. Like Shaq, probably you can make the argument that Steph is better than Shaq all time, and it really doesn't matter where you have Shaq on your list. Everybody's always gonna point to him and be like, "But he's the most dominant player ever." You could think Shaq is like the 20th best player of all time. And be like, but like he's still the most dominant. Like he's always gonna get that crown. So that does kind of mean something.
Same amount of rings, 3-peated for the Lakers. It's the most one of the most iconic teams of all time. Was a superstar from day one. He didn't have the longevity, but the peak was ridiculous.
That is true, but
He also broke a
value the
backboard, which is really cool.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. That highlight
can't
still
forget that.
breaks my mind to this day.
Strong
Not
as
gonna lie
hell.
to you. I'm still leaning Shaq. I'm still leaning Curry, though. It doesn't matter. Seeing
take
how
Shaq.
every single little kid wants to be like him, literally influencing the entire style of basketball. That's something that we haven't seen since,
True.
I don't know, like
You know
Jordan days. Like, That's crazy.
No, I'll go with you. I'll go Curry. I'll go Curry just because 2022 happened. Not only did he create the greatest dynasty of all time with Kevin Durant, he also won without him afterwards for his city with one of the best individual performances of all time in the finals. We can go Curry.
I'm going Shaq.
If Shaq did it for his whole career with one team, then I would understand it. But that gives Steph points.
Yeah, exactly. Playing at the high level you're still playing at right now, Steph is easy for me.
Fair enough. Next matchup. Russell Westbrook versus Allen Iverson.
I'm taking Allen Iverson
These
in a
are the
heartbeat.
same.
In a heartbeat?
In a heartbeat.
Okay,
Why?
explain.
You have people, listen, Russell Westbrook has almost had to fight people on the court because they are playing with his name. I do not want to go through any of that. Allen Iverson, the same way that you guys were talking about Steph, like changing the game and influence, Allen Iverson is that. What we talked about with Kobe being revered, Allen Iverson has that as well. And he has an MVP. If they both have 0 rings, I'm going to take Allen Iverson's career.
Facts. Russell Westbrook is the most polarizing player in NBA Discourse history. Allen Iverson is the opposite of polarizing. Everybody loves that man. If you find someone who doesn't love him, they are in the minority. And it's not even anything to do with necessarily just basketball. For what he did for culture, his aura, his influence, he is Teflon forever.
The Philadelphia 76ers did not love him enough with how they built that statue of him outside of their arena. All that love that y'all telling me, where was that love at when it comes to the ideation of that statue? Didn't matter, bro. Give me Russell Westbrook.
Fair enough. Who's better is a different conversation. I don't even know how to begin parsing that question. But better career, listen, Allen Iverson is one of the most respected players of all time.
Yeah, for sure. But they both, the interesting thing about them is that they both went through their journeyman like phase. Russell Westbrook was obviously like a little bit more rough. Maybe I'm saying that because it's more easy to remember because it just fucking happened. But careers are uber similar, man. It's crazy.
Iverson just retired. Russ is keeping it pushing as long as he can.
I respect it too.
Fair enough. All right, what's the next matchup?
Get a bag.
Rudy Gobert versus Paul George.
Listen, look, I make jokes about both of these guys, but I would never want to be as disrespected as Rudy Gobert is. Rudy Gobert can win 5 straight championships, four straight DPOYs, and nobody in the league or fans are going to be like, that's my guy. Give me Paul George's career.
Man, I get it. Paul George is the fan favorite. Rudy Gobert is the most hated player in the league for no reason. This man has 4 DPOIs, and Paul George has 1 third-place finish in MVP one time. Pure accomplishments. I don't know how we could possibly go Paul George.
The people still love him, though.
Good for them. If one has accomplished so much more, fuck them kids and their Mary J. Blige song.
How many kids are growing
First
up
of all,
watching Rudy Gobert?
It's an Erykah
Fuck them
Badu
kids
song.
and their Erykah Badu song.
Perfect.
You respect that Neo Soul Queen.
How many kids are growing up watching Rudy Gobert highlights and trying to mimic their game after his? You're a weirdo if you do. Nobody doing that shit.
Because not everybody can mimic greatness.
You're a munch.
I don't
Get
think
out of
he's
here.
gonna be
No, nobody's ever picking Rudy Gobert's career. That's never happening.
You can't mimic LeBron. You can't be 6'8", 240, best athlete in the world. You can't just be the best defender in the world either. It's not that easy.
That is the most munch
I'm
statement
I'm
ever. I think
taking
I
Paul
might
George.
go Paul George still, just because.
I'm taking Paul George.
No,
I
Rudy
want
Gobert
kids-
actually had the better career, though.
I mean, that's fine. You can argue it. I never wanted it over Paul George. You could have it. You can have Rudy Gobert's career.
Yeah. Give me Paul
Fair
George
enough.
for sure.
He gave
I
the
want
lead
kids
Kobe.
lying on my name, telling everybody that I'm the goddamn GOAT. For sure. Give me Paul.
It's so funny because I don't even give a shit about Rudy Gobert. I just hate dumbness. And it's such stupid narratives that he gets hated on for.
Oh, boo. We don't care.
It's so stupid.
Oh, boo.
It's like mass hysteria. I feel like I'm going crazy watching a bunch of crazy people that just like are just like all saying the same wrong thing. I'm like, what are we talking about?
You're so bothered by it. It's so
I
funny.
am. I hate it. I hate it so much. I don't know why, because I don't care about this French guy.
Listen, Paul George is about to get a bag too. So he's about to re-up on that bag. Give me Paul George.
Good for him getting a bag because he has not looked very great as of late.
Nope.
Get that back while you still can, while people haven't noticed.
Paul George has a podcast, a theme song, a signature shoe, and multiple bags. Yeah, I'm taking Paul George's career.
That is
It's
true.
cooler.
It's
I would
kinda
definitely
easy.
rather have his life. I would take his life easily, but better career, that's a different question for me.
Who's going to be more memorable, too, at the end of the day? That has to be a part of the
Well,
career.
perimeter players, people always love perimeter players more than big men, so it's going to be Paul George for sure.
Case is closed. Paul George, congratulations.
Case is closed. This is becoming a popularity contest, not a better career contest.
When it comes to Rudy, the career shit don't fucking matter. Accolades don't
We can't think about him rationally.
Yeah.
I get it. He's not likable. I understand. I didn't say I'd want to be him. I didn't want to be his person. I wouldn't want his personality. I'm not saying all that. All right, next up. John Wall versus DeMarcus Cousins.
Damn.
Ooh. See, now both of these guys are firmly in the you don't understand how good X player was kind of conversation, you know?
These kids don't know about John Wall. These kids
Prime
don't know
John
about Boogie
Wall,
Cousins.
2016, 2017 John Wall. I don't know. This is so hard.
Both flash in the pans, ruined by injury. We're never quite the best players in the world, but we're damn good. They're kind of the same player, low-key.
Okay,
Exactly.
it comes down to this, though. What video makes you laugh more? Or what video do you like more? Boogie Cousins saying, "It's getting ridiculous out here," or John Wall doing the Dougie? Whichever one you
Neither.
like more, that's the winner.
Neither. I like when John Wall hit the big shot and ran on the court, and he was like, "Big B's, bitch," in front of a bunch of white people in the crowd. And all the people courtside were like, huh?
When he was throwing up gang signs?
Yeah.
This man's a banger.
That was the funniest thing John Wall's ever done.
Their careers are so similar, bro. It's ridiculous.
All right,
I don't
bro.
even know how to choose between the two.
John Wall, you have more
They're-
funny videos.
Yeah.
You win.
The narrative around DeMarcus Cousins was it was one of the most damning things I've seen in my entire life, bro. Everyone just painted him as a problem child. Maybe he fucking was. I don't know. Wasn't in those locker rooms, but I think I might want to lean towards John Wall because he was having types of conversations where people were arguing this is the second best player in the Eastern Conference. Like that stamp right there basically gave him like MVP type approval. Like he's one of them ones.
All right. I'll go John Wall. It's close, though.
All right. Jay
Next
Williams.
up. Derrick Rose versus Jimmy Butler. One-time teammates.
So there's the guy that was at the top of his class versus the guy who's never been that, but as of late has been like finishing towards the top of the NBA in the most
Not the early
reckless way
success or
possible.
the longevity and carrying your team to the top. Almost.
Listen, a lot of these come down to just how much love do you get out in the streets? And Derrick Rose,
Stop making it that. It's career.
I'm sorry. That's what it
You're
is.
ruining the TikTok. It's not about fan
Dude,
favoritism.
listen, okay, fine. I'll take the guy with an MVP. I'll take that. There.
Who has a better
case,
chance
Case
of-
closed.
Nah.
I'll take the MVP.
Is an MVP better than 2 final ships?
If I lost, yes. I don't have a ring. I still lost.
We give Rudy Gobert rings culture respect like he won them.
Yeah.
We give Jimmy Butler ring culture respect as if he won.
Yeah, but Jimmy Butler's made, of course, like more all NBAs, more all-star teams and shit like that too. So that stuff like has to matter as well.
Exactly.
He's never been the best player in the world. Derrick Rose.
Neither is Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose for 2 weeks had the crown. You give him his respect, okay? Before LeBron
if
went
we're
into
talking 2
Chicago
weeks-
and ruined him, he got 2 weeks. That was it. The first
We're talking
round,
2 weeks.
the first round of the 2011 playoffs, you got it, Derrick Rose. After that, you got blasted. It's over.
If we're talking 2 weeks, Jimmy Butler versus the Milwaukee Bucks in the first round of the 2022 playoffs, or of the 2023 playoffs, was a godsend. He averaged 37 points per game. That was the best player in the world for that week.
Guys, this man, Derrick Rose, was playing with Taj Gibson, Luol Deng, and Joakim Noah. It was Derrick Rose. It was 1-on-5 on offense. I'm taking Derrick Rose.
But yeah, but you can't
Jimmy
tell me
Butler
no.
got Gabe Vincent, Max Strus, and Caleb Martin paid. He got them paid big bucks.
Yeah, exactly. I think I might lean towards Jimmy Butler.
This man was out here playing with Tyrese Thomas. Don't talk to me about Derrick Rose, bro.
Nikola Jovic is in the rotation.
I'm taking Derrick Rose. I want the MVP.
I actually like Jovic.
Yeah, but Jimmy Butler,
said, "No hate, no
Derrick Rose, can never go ahead and blow up an entire team by taking the entire practice squad and running the starting lineup like how Jimmy Butler did in Minnesota. I want to go with Jimmy Butler for sure.
Derrick Rose scored 50 points like
That's
years
true.
after his prime. Nobody in the world loved that moment more for Derrick Rose. I'm telling you, when it comes down, none of them have a ring, and one of them has an MVP. What are we talking about? Like, guys, it's Derrick Rose.
Yeah, he's like a 3-year prime. Awesome MVP, opposed to like a 9-year prime and 2 finalships.
You want to talk
Longevity
about?
versus-
You want to talk about coming into the league, doing your damage, and getting out? Derrick Rose might be in the Hall of Fame off of 3 years.
Your damage and getting out.
Derrick Rose might be in the Hall of Fame off of 3 years.
Jimmy Butler is definitely in the Hall of Fame.
This is such a long debate, bro. Because it's so even, bro. Damn.
Listen, one's certainly in the Hall of Fame. One you have to say might be. Feels like the.
I think I might lean Jimmy Butler.
All right, what's next? Klay Thompson versus James Harden. You want rings, or you want to be the best guard in the NBA, neck and neck with Steph Curry?
4 rings, yeah.
I want to be a
Friday
Splash Brother.
listeners.
That's what I want. That's what I want. Me and Steph.
It's real nice to be able to be that guy that's known as a duo with Steph Curry. Like your career, your legacy is cemented.
And he's also the second best shooter of all time. Like people give him that title. He has 4 rings. He got paid. He has mad love in the Bay. Everything is great. There isn't anything, bro.
James
Klay
Harden.
Thompson, what's up? Go ahead.
I'm just gonna say, you talking about mad love. James Harden get mad love from every single rapper you can think. He got love in Philly. He got love in LA. He got love in Atlanta with Lil Baby.
He got love in Magic City.
They fuck with him, bro. Heavy. He's protected everywhere. He don't gotta check in anywhere. Then on top of that, the MVP averaging 35, 36 points in a single season. We're gonna look back
who
at that when
respects
we're
that?
old heads.
And who respects that?
Not
me.
Get me there.
Not me. Klay Thompson scored 37 points in a quarter. He scored 60 points on 11 dribbles. This man has no bag and has outscored people with 3 times the bag as him because he's that lethal.
Listen, Klay Thompson's jersey is going up in the Raptors in Golden State. James Harden's jersey is going up in the Raptors at Onyx. I don't know who's better, but it's neck and neck.
Notice how one of those is an NBA arena and the other is a club. Like, there's levels to this. Give me Klay Thompson's career.
All right, Clay. I guess it is Clay.
There you go. And that's the end of that. Next up,
That TikTok went way longer than what I thought it was going to be.
It's a great clip.
Going for a good clip. Next thing we're going to do, bring back a game we played a few weeks ago now. We're going to do that categories game where you guys have to name one player from each category I say. There's 5 of them. And you have to see if you can make it to the end without saying the same name as me.
Okay.
Let's do it.
I don't think... Donovan, did you win this last time? I think you won
so.
last time. Mo, you lost both times. Mo, can you get your first chip?
I think I got through it.
I'm getting it. That's not even a fucking question. What the hell?
You confident?
I'm going to win. Been one already.
It's
It's me manifesting.
Okay. So real simple. Can you name a player from each of these NBA categories without saying the same name as me? First category. Players who at once led the league in assists.
Shit. All right.
Okay.
This is going to get... I got it. Okay. Gotcha.
3, 2, 1.
LeBron
Steve
James.
Nash.
Mo's out in the first round.
Fuck, I didn't even think. I was like, bro, did LeBron lead the league in assists? I couldn't even think of players who do that
Mo's
shit.
never going to win this game.
Fuck.
Suck.
Second category.
Manifestation is fake.
Second category.
Throw those
players
crystals
drafted
away.
in 2017.
Say it again?
In 2017, I'm sorry, I
Okay.
have no idea what the 2017 draft class looks like.
No, I got you.
Okay, I got it. I got it.
It's Jason Tatum's year.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Josh
Lonzo
Jackson.
Ball.
Lonzo Ball. Donovan's out.
Dummy.
You both suck.
I'm so bad. I'm so bad at knowing like what the draft classes are. After the top 3 picks, I'm like, it's over.
Y'all already out. We'll keep going just to see if the fans can win.
Let's go.
NBA point guards who hit a game-winning shot in the playoffs. 3,
Okay.
2, 1.
Derek
Damian
Fisher.
Lillard. Fuck.
Jamal Murray.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
we
wrong player.
got cooked. Okay.
Jamal Murray.
There you go.
I'm gonna grab a different name for that one. I just did next.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, next one. NBA players who have made it to a finals but didn't win.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Jason Tatum.
Thabo Sefolosha.
NBA stars who have made it to the NBA finals and didn't win.
You're so gross. Why is Cephalosha on your mind?
I'm
3,
trying
2,
to
1.
win. Allen Iverson.
Jason Tatum.
Chris Paul.
Ooh, there we go.
Okay, last category.
See, if I just knew draft classes, I would be good.
NBA players who missed their rookie year entirely.
Shit.
3, 2, 1.
Blake Griffin.
Ben Simmons.
Chet Holmgren.
Oh, damn.
4 out of 5.
Yeah, listen, you guys
That
suck
hurts.
and you lost immediately, but we'll see if the fans come on.
First of all, no. Mo lost immediately. I got to the second round.
You lost damn near immediately. You get
I
no points.
needed you to go ahead and fumble one more time.
I got 1
Donovan.
point. I got 1
Damn.
point. I'm on the board.
That was generational shitting yourself.
Fuck this game.
Mo's never gonna win. We gotta do it every week until you win. See how long you can run the streak up of losing.
So it's like 3 weeks now. Fuck.
All right, we got one more TikTok before we get out of here. Back to legacy talk, sorta. What we're gonna do is it's a series we started. We're gonna get through all 30 teams eventually, but I want us to talk about who is this NBA team's greatest player of all time, and versus who is their most talented player of all time. Because usually it's different.
Okay. Let's talk about it.
So, the quintessential debate from last time was OKC Thunder, and it was like Russ is the team GOAT, but we all know Kevin Durant's better. Same type of thing. I got, I think, 6 more teams for you guys. We're going to have the same type of talk.
Our radar
So-
is brilliant.
First off, the Boston Celtics.
Okay.
Is
Team
Larry
GOAT.
Bird just the answer for both?
I mean, for greatest, I guess you can go Bill Russell. He does have 11 rings. But is Larry Bird clearly the most talented player?
I guess so, yeah. Yeah, we'll go Larry Bird for...
Larry Bird for sure is clearly the most talented player.
Because
But
like, you're not going to say Kevin Garnett's more talented than Larry Bird. You're not going
No.
to say Paul Pierce is more talented than Larry Bird.
not gonna say Jason Tatum's the
I
most
mean,
talented
KD.
Larry Bird. Throw him in there too.
Not if you have a brain.
PG. Yeah. Well, you know what? Let's go Larry. We'll go Bill Russell for GOAT, Larry Bird for most talented.
Okay.
That seems fair. Seems fair to all parties involved.
Yeah.
Okay. I respect it.
Okay. Next up, the San Antonio Spurs.
Okay, so Tim Duncan is the team GOAT.
Clearly.
Guys, I'm sorry.
What's talented? Is it there's Duncan, there's Kawhi, there's George Gervin, there's David Robinson.
I know what Donovan's gonna do. Oh my god.
There is no way you can't tell me that Wemby isn't the most talented player in the Spurs history. This guy is 7'5" and can do absolutely everything. Off of pure talent, pure measurables, it's Wemby.
Bro, he played like 60
I'm not
games.
ready to say that yet over Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan's pretty fucking talented himself.
He's played
Guys,
like
Wemby's
65 games. What are you doing?
I know greatness when I see it, and that
Have
man
some
is
shame.
great.
This is our legacy on the line.
Guys, listen. You have to
Listen,
know
by
what
year
you're
3, I
watching
might
in real
agree.
time. You have to know in real time.
Give it 160 more games, I might be with you.
We're just waiting just to wait.
Exactly. There's many players I will jump over. Last week I said, fuck it, Luka's already better than John Stockton. I'm fine with that. I need more time before I disrespect Tim Duncan.
See,
I
I don't
agree.
think it's disrespect.
Don't knock down Tim D's legacy like that. Let's slow down.
I just gave him the franchise GOAT.
No, you're right. It's not crazy. I can definitely see the case, but I'll give it some more time just to not get yelled at.
Okay. So
I respect your gusto. Just to say it.
This guy's crazy.
All right, next up, the Orlando Magic.
All right, so team GOAT is probably what? Dwight Howard?
Yeah, he
They
was
went
there
to the
longer than
finals.
Shaq.
Yeah, they went to the finals.
And then most talented would be Shaq?
Shaq, easy.
So if we're talking just their time there, was young Shaq in his first 4 years more talented than peak Dwight Howard?
Yes, sir.
I think
He was
so.
running
I
a
think
break
so.
like Giannis at his size. Good God, yeah, he was.
Yeah, it was before he got massive and just unstoppable down low. But even 25-year-old Shaq was ridiculous.
Yeah, he definitely deserves that label for sure.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
No case for Dwight Howard.
Not
Dwight
even
Howard had
remotely.
2 post moves, and one of them was just, I'm gonna throw my shoulder into your chest.
His 2 post moves were right drop step, left drop step. That's about it.
And they were effective.
Maybe the left. Maybe going left.
I didn't say both were good.
Doesn't have a post
next
move committed to memory. You know.
That he can do more than one. Next up, the Philadelphia 76ers.
Dr. J
Okay.
is the team GOAT, right?
Sure, that's fair.
Yeah.
For most talented, we got Dr. J, obviously. We got Malone. We got Barkley, Joel Embiid. Pure talent. Listen. I'm not necessarily the biggest Joel Embiid all-time fan in the world, but that combination of size, handle, shooting ability, defense, it might have to be Joel Embiid.
I don't know. I don't know if I can go that far because it just doesn't click when you need it the most. Like something happens out of his control.
That's not the conversation. It's talented, not who's a better player all time.
Talented, like at all times. And he's just not talented at all times.
He's not talented in April?
No, exactly.
I mean,
It's
look,
a year round.
right now, he's on one leg, giving the Knicks 33 a night. Like he's low key putting it together. But if we listen, I'm gonna speak up for the people, and the people say that pound for pound, Allen Iverson is extremely talented.
True.
So
I don't know if I'd say he's
do
more
we wanna
talented
go
than
there?
Joel Embiid, though. That's where I'm like, all right, let's slow down now.
Listen, he's pure talent. I'm going Joel Embiid. It's not. Listen, he's an MVP too. He's shown it like over a sample size. Like I think it's Joel Embiid.
Yeah, but he got the MVP off of race relations.
Shout out Kendrick Perkins. He still has the MVP.
You know, it was the MVP worthy season. He got it.
All right, Joel
There we
Embiid. There we go.
How do you find a way to give him love? Because he won't be getting it by the end of this postseason. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. God. We'll see.
Next up, the Brooklyn Nets.
This is so weird. This is so weird. Talking
They have
about
a
their
terrible
best.
history.
Yeah, this is so weird.
All their stars they've had have ended in horrific fashion. Vince Carter, I'm out of here. Actually, no, is it the Raptors he left in horrific fashion?
Yeah.
Those are the Raptors he left this.
Oh, I got that backwards.
Yeah.
I got that backwards. Never mind. We're safe from that allegation.
So,
But no, but
what
you're
is it?
still right in general.
Team GOAT.
Like,
Are we going Jason Kidd?
Sure.
that's gross,
Yeah,
man.
I mean, Jason
he made
Kidd
the
is a Hall of
finals.
Famer. He's good. Back-to-back.
Is he a
made the
finals.
top
finals with them.
40 NBA player?
Jason Kidd is good, though. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, he took him to the finals, and not many people have done that.
There's poverty franchises
sad,
all around the NBA. Sometimes you get Michael Jordan. Other times you just get a regular Hall of Famer, and that's Jason Kidd. It's
That's
fine.
so sad.
Okay, so are we going peak Jason Kidd is more talented than 34-year-old Kevin Durant?
Nope.
No.
Hell no.
No.
As much as I
No.
love Jason Kidd in his game, what Kevin
Do you
Durant,
love Jason Kidd? You spent 30 seconds hating on him.
Nah, I don't. I gotta be honest.
I'm lying on my ass.
But no,
Yeah, I mean,
34-year-old
honestly,
KD,
the only
what he was doing?
competition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, keep going.
No, 34-year-old Kevin Durant, what he was doing, what he did for that small stint with the Brooklyn Nets, although ended in disappointment most of the time, what he did on the court, never seen before in history.
That playoff series against the Milwaukee Bucks, where he was one big toe away from making the finals, is the most talented spurt any Nets player has ever had. That was a ridiculous series.
At
Listen,
34, damn.
He got it. I can't even say. I can't
pains you
even
to
hate.
say it.
I can't hate. It's Kevin Durant.
There you go. All right, next team. Detroit Pistons.
Okay, so Isaiah Thomas is the team GOAT.
Is he also the most talented?
Easy.
I mean, 2016 Blake Griffin has an argument. You know.
2018?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's 2018.
No, I'm playing. No, Isaiah Thomas is very clearly like 1 and 2. He got it.
Yeah. I don't even. So Andre Drummond had a good time there. He made some All-Stars.
Jeez, that's disgusting, man. You just brought up his name in a TikTok like this. You know we're down bad.
Yeah, I guess we go IT for both. One of the rare times where it's the same player.
Damn. Only Andre Drummond and Blake Griffin for real coming. No Chauncey Billups. All right, let me stop.
Stretching it.
Yeah, let me
Listen,
stop.
Rashid had some time.
Oh
He
my
did.
God.
He did.
He had a moment.
We are in the deep end.
Next up, the Chicago Bulls.
Listen, open and shut case here. Give me Michael Jordan as the team GOAT. Michael Jordan as the most talented. There should be no discussion.
Really?
Well, no discussion.
No discussion.
Are we gonna ignore Alex Caruso's legacy?
My bad.
Talking about
I
Alex
did
Caruso.
forget Caruso. Okay.
Oh, man. I was more so
we
thinking,
can't do it. We can't do it. I love
Obviously,
Caruso. It
obviously
hurts
Michael
me.
Jordan for both.
There we go. You guys have your mind straight today.
All right, next team. Well, that's the end of it. And that's the end of the episode. Mo, if people are still here, what should they comment?
What should they comment?
Every time I ask this lately,
You never
nothing
know.
good.
He never knows.
You never know.
Yeah. Isaac, it's okay because I'm predicting that the Lakers are going to get swept again, sadly.
Well, listen, this is we're recording this before we know what happens in Game 3, so that might be very obvious if that happens.
It won't happen.
Donovan, you have anything good to comment?
No, I don't.
Okay,
It's on
never
you.
mind.
It's
Don't
on
comment shit. We'll see you guys next week.
It's on you.
Goodbye.
It's okay.